Welcome into the firm of Harris and Marang. Patrick Harris with you. That's my good buddy Joe Fisher right over there.
Let's go.
Casey Smith back there on the ones and twos.
Yes, sir.
Happy to have you along on a Tuesday. Yosef, I don't know the last time we did a show together, but I'm very excited to have you, my man.
86. 1986.
1986 was the last time.
It was a good year. It was a good year.
I'm
Giants?
I'm more of an
winning the Super Bowl?
85 vintage guy. I think 86 is the Royals.
Bears winning the Super Bowl?
Bears are 85.
85? Yeah, okay. Or was it 85 season, 86 Super Bowl?
That is a great question.
You know, my whole Cowboys fandom is based off of their 90s Super Bowl run. Mm-hmm. And I was told, like, oh, yeah, they won the Super Bowl on your first birthday. Or they won it on your birthday, like when you were born. Thought that my whole life. And then I got to like 8, 9 years old. They won the Super Bowl during my birth year. Won it in 96. The Washington Redskins actually won it near my birthday when I was born. So that was devastating to find out. But still riding with my Cowboys.
Yeah, that's funny. I always think about the Cowboys as 95.
It was the
Niners in 94. Cowboys in 93, Cowboys in 92. That's how I think about it.
But that's the thing is it's the what was the season versus when did the Super Bowl happen?
Sure,
it
sure,
throws
sure.
me off every time.
So I believe the Royals won in 86 and the Tigers in 85.
Yeah.
If my memory serves
But I
me
remember
correct.
those shows you and I did in 1986, yes.
I mean, we were young whippersnappers, but we were getting there.
We were
Kansas
green.
City Royals in 85 and in 86,
Swapped them.
the New York Mets.
Oh, the 86 Mets. 84 must be Detroit then.
Is this what we're doing? Should we start doing where did he go to college next? Play
Dude,
that game?
I mean, that game is one of my all-time favorite games.
It's a great game.
It's one of my
84 is the Detroit Tigers.
Yeah, one of my all-time favorite games. I've got a good buddy that we do that all the time. We watch NBA, NFL, and we'll just look at somebody and be like, George Kittle? And then my buddy will look at me and be like, are you stupid? Come on."
Iowa?
It's
He's
Titan
like, "Come on."
University.
He's like, come on.
Yeah. I feel like we've all seen the memes and the videos of people that are married and they go back to their wife after hanging out with their buddies and they're like, so what'd you guys do? I'm like, oh, nothing. Like, what'd you guys talk about? Like, oh, we just talked about former college basketball players and Big East basketball players and what school. And then we just tried to guess what colleges guys went to for about 3 hours. It was a great time.
You know, I was out with Joe, and he swears that Johnny Flynn only had 38 in that 7 overtime Big East championship game, and I'm telling him it was 39, and we almost went to blows.
And, yeah.
But then Casey bought the tab, and we hugged it out.
Strongly defended Eric Devendorf.
Yes. Good little player. Good little player.
Didn't he just get divorced? Did you talk about that? No.
No. I didn't want to get involved in his personal life.
Yeah.
No.
But
my good buddy, Eric.
But we did rank the ACC teams going into this season. We did that as well.
And the idea that now I'm trying to scramble here for an ace. The idea that Syracuse is going to finish over Boston College, I walked out. I couldn't do it, and I'm done hanging out with Joe.
I think Boston College is actually supposed to be pretty bad this year.
I think so too.
Again, Alabama's only going to have 8.5 wins.
Is this what we're doing? Are we doing wins loss over under today?
Well, I want to know win-loss over-under in losing your friends over a couple beers and a conversation.
What happened?
Well, I just mean, like, how far does it have to go for you to kind of say, you know what? Screw you guys, I'm going home.
Like sports conversation?
Yeah.
Ooh. Like where it gets that personal?
Like the classic trope that the morning guys do is giving Swag grief for not watching Game 7 of the World Series.
Yeah, but he can't leave. He, has to produce
Understood.
the show.
But if we're at the bar and there's someone in that situation who I don't blame Swag for it. I was at the Oregon State Wazoo game, and then I caught the rest of the World Series at a bar. So I don't blame him necessarily for it. But when that conversation happens in a bar, when does it get to a point where you're like so pissed that you just get up and walk out about sports? If someone says your wife is then like you can get up and leave.
I'm not going to put anything out, me personally.
He's a hoe.
Because I don't want to give any ammunition out there. Like, if someone said this about my Cowboys.
Right.
Like,
you
I'm
find
not,
Joe on the streets and
Yeah.
you're like, you know what about your Cowboys?
Damn it. Yeah.
Joe just punch right in the face.
Not doing that. But I would say any sort of catastrophic, life-altering injury to one of your favorite players on your team to where, like, literally their career ended, and someone goes just over that line, that's where I'm like, all right, bud. All right, what are we doing here?
Dude, I can't believe Joe Theismann died from Lawrence Taylor. Should have done earlier. Then you're like, that's it. We're going at this.
Yeah.
That man won a Super Bowl.
Was
You
that said-
take that back?
Was that said on this show? In the
It's not about Joe Theismann.
Oh. Sounds like something that might have been said on this show.
Yeah, I look, we all love sports. Sports are fantastic. And that's what's interesting, especially like from our point of view, Joe, when we meet people in the wild. Sometimes I just want to like meet people and talk to them about their life. Like I met this guy Mike who listens to our show at Brothers Cascadia in Vancouver the other day. Nice
up,
guy.
Mike?
And we talked about like he's a film documentarian, and I'm like, dude, tell me more. I want to hear more about this. It's so strange when you run into people that are like, oh, dude, are you Joe Fisher? Dude, your Cowboys are going to blow this year. And it's like, man, can't we just like say hi?
Yeah, nice to meet you.
This is
dude.
my son,
Cool.
Joe the Fourth. Thanks for talking like that.
Your dad's a loser.
You know?
Cowboys fan? Seriously? He raises you?
Oh man.
Yeah. But you know what? I got tough skin at this point. I've seen them all. I've seen all the memes. I mean, I have said this before, and I will say this again, that I think my collective fandom, like the teams that I root for, I have the most heartbreak as a fan. Because, again, being a Cowboys fan in the 90s at my age, I will tell you, my earliest memories as a Cowboy is everything after the Super Bowl. I was a toddler when those happened, all right?
Right. It's
So-
like Casey being a Yankee fan but only has one title in his life.
Yeah. My like
Had to
first
bring that one up.
my first like conscious sports memories are the Blazers getting eliminated by the Spurs on Memorial Day. Like that is when it first like all started happening. If that's your first like conscious sports memories, that's not a good start.
Okay, this is not going to be great that we're going to start arguing about who's the more miserable fandom.
No, I'm more depressed than you.
I would like you to know that I have seen my team lose 3 World Series, include 2 Game 7 extra innings.
That's
Home run
okay.
pitch, home run pitch, home
Okay?
run pitch.
The first team in my lifetime to win a title of a team that I rooted for is the 2015 Portland Timbers MLS Cup. The second team to ever win something that I rooted for, because Liverpool won in 2004 in Champions League, but I was a very fresh new fan.
There you go.
So I don't really want to count that. 2019, they won Champions League. Okay? So that's it. That's all I've got, Joe. And a couple Premier League titles, one that they don't want to count because it was COVID. So it's like the only thing I've got is soccer. Okay? Wazoo ain't winning Squadouche. The Blazers, oogie, grew up a Pacer fan, ran into Michael Jordan and then Kobe Bryant. Was a Charger fan for a long time, dare I say more. Mm-hmm. Cleveland Guardians, Indians.
You know what? You know what I hear out of that though is I at least hear championship game appearances.
That is true. See, is it
That
hard-
is something I have never been able to witness outside of the Oregon Ducks twice,
Yeah, it must hurt.
and my San Jose Sharks one time against the Penguins in 2016.
that
I
is
really
the-
don't know that feeling.
Yeah.
It's tough.
that is
Yeah,
the real
yeah,
question.
That's yeah.
Even when my team is bad,
Can-
we still win our
Can we
division.
turn his mic off?
No, he is in charge. He's in charge over there.
I'm decapitated.
That's the question though, and this is something that someone who sits in your chair gets killed for, and rightfully so, because I think it's a terrible take. What is more heartbreak? Getting close and losing, or not getting close at all? Like my baseball team has been in 3 World Series in my lifetime. Have lost 2 in Game 7 extra innings in 97 and 2016. Is that more heartbreak than the Cowboys not doing Squadouche since
Getting close
1995?
and losing is much more heartbreak.
Because old Marang would rather go 8-4 than get blown out by
Could you
Indiana in a
could-
semifinal.
Because I don't think you could say the Detroit Lions have heartbreak.
Well, and it's just
They're just historically not there.
yeah.
just
It's
bad.
like, it's like basically like, do you want to be the Bills of that
Right.
the 90s run, or
That is heartbreak.
or do you want to be the Jets in totality?
I think I would rather be a Jets fan. Because I think the Bills hurts more.
Yeah,
And Jets have 2 AFC championship appearances in my lifetime.
that's true. They do. See, and again, context for
Now,
every
I
team
don't think
matters.
it's better to be a Jets fan than a
Browns, I
Bills
guess.
fan. I would rather be a Bills fan than a Jets fan because I've lost 4 Super Bowls.
Would you rather be a Bills
However-
fan or a Browns fan? I feel like that's a better one.
But again, it's like for less heartbreak, I would rather be a Browns fan. But to be a fan, I would rather be a Bills fan because
Less
I'd rather.
heartbreak.
I think Cleveland is less heartbreak. I do.
I don't.
You go in every single year knowing you ain't doing anything.
I get what you're saying. It's the whole hope for the best, expect the worst thing.
Yeah.
You know, but
But it's like I went to 4 Super
I
Bowls.
don't think
At
Cleveland
Super Bowl
fans would
number
say the
4,
same.
at Super Bowl number 4, you're like, we got it this time, guys. We got it, and then it's wide right.
But I will say, I feel like Cleveland Browns fans, they're even them knowing they suck, the way they do it every single year is like, oh my God.
Well,
like,
it is very much hold my beer.
Yeah. Every single year they like one up how bad they are. And now, I mean, Deshaun Watson, I thought about this last night. Could you imagine if Deshaun Watson had like an MVP like season? How screwed the NFL would be and how pissed they would be. That's another topic for another
They
day.
trade away the defensive player of the year.
That might get me
and
to...
they get better.
Deshaun Watson just like 40 touchdowns, 7 picks on the season, 4,500. Just Cleveland 13-4.
That would get me to walk out of the bar. You know, I know Deshaun had some like sticky off the court stuff, but I mean MVP and they almost won a Super Bowl. Pretty good quarterback. Like, I'm out. I'm out. I'm out.
I just want to see that happen, just to see ESPN and all like the national media struggle to talk about, like, have like a serious MVP race conversation.
13-4. That means you probably took a game for my Steelers.
And
I do not like
every
this.
single person gets their replay back of that Shedeur Sanders should start over Deshaun Watson.
Oh.
And Ryan Clark never ceases to exist again.
Thank God.
Marcus Spears and Ryan Clark, R.I.P.
Someone on the text line, I'm an A's, Sixers, Steelers. Oof. See, again, you lose me with the Steelers.
I know, you lose me there.
Yeah,
that's a perennial franchise.
You're like, oh no, I always have a winning record. I've won Super Bowls in the last 20 years.
I've seen the Steelers been to 4 Super Bowls in my life and win 2 of them.
Neil
O'Donnell, baby. Dallas
right.
95.
Got a couple more years. There you go.
Dallas blew him out. Neil O'Donnell, dude.
Yes, we have that.
I wasn't born yet. Doesn't matter.
And Sixers, bro, like, you're the favorite in the East. What do you want from me?
When I saw
LeBron James.
You have LeBron James. Yeah. I don't feel bad for you.
And I saw a great tweet, and this would be fun
Who's
to do.
Who's the second best player on my Cleveland Guardians?
Oh boy.
Right? Is it Chase DeLauder?
Is Jose Ramirez the third somehow in the farm system?
I would hope so.
Good change.
I would hope so.
Thank you, Pop.
As far as heartbreak goes, I saw a good tweet where it's someone said it's like, if you don't have a top 5 most heartbreaking moments as a sports fan, then are you even really a sports? Like, if you can't,
you haven't felt it.
If you can't name them like off the dome, the 5 like biggest heartbreak moments of your fandom, then you're not really a fan. I feel like that's something we can maybe do at some point in the future. Come up with our top 5 biggest heartbreak moments in our fandom.
Yeah, dude. I mean, we don't gotta get into it, but I can already name 2 or 3 of them. Yeah,
Tom Brady's responsible for half of them.
Yeah, 97 World Series, 2016 World Series. The lob to Shaq. Okay,
2024 Game 5.
Yeah,
5th inning.
Aaron Judge dropped that ball. Pretty easy catch too.
Yeah, I've got too many. To come up with a top 5 for me,
it'd be fun.
It would be fun. Well, I don't know if fun's the right way I would describe it, but it would be difficult.
Maybe you should just go 8-4 instead of getting blown out in a semifinal.
That's what I would do.
That's what I would.
That's what I prefer.
Oakley Dokley, we got a great show for you today. It's a free consultation Tuesday. A friendly reminder, we do that at 11:15. Moving that around to have a little bit of fun with it. It kind of opens up the big nooner for some more sports. The SEC makes a statement, but the big B1G might actually be doing something about that. We've got college quarterback starters announced in the Pacific Northwest to get to. A little bit of baseball, a little bit of golf. We're all over the place with Joe in the house. But we'll start with the letter 0. 105.1 The Fan. 10:18 here, Portland Sports Leader. Don't you forget it. We are live from the shadows of the historic Fremont Bridge. 503-864-6326. That's the fan text line. She'll let you interact with us throughout the entire day, including free consultation at 11:15. Anything you need help in your life, your love life, your work life, your personal life, your Blazer life, you're welcome to send those in or over on the YouTube chat. 1051 The Fan is the channel. Like, subscribe, smash those buttons, and jump in the chat. Be nice to each other out there. I teased the letter 0, not for the reasons of Damian Lillard, but because the board behind me has officially turned to the letter 0 back there. 0 days.
No! We suck again!
Gasp.
And what's interesting about this, and there's a lot to unpack when it comes to the Shaedon Sharpe injury. I know that's what's dominating sports radio here in the local market for the last 24 hours. Shaedon Sharpe goes down with a torn meniscus. He is out 6 months. I'm not going to try to do the Scoot Henderson. We're all doctors all of a sudden and can tell you when a hamstring is going to be better.
Well, I will.
I can't wait for how many times I get asked for an update on Shaedon Sharpe this year when it's December and he's still 3 months away from playing. But Shaedon Sharpe is out for 6 months with a torn meniscus. And your initial reactions, Joe, when you heard this?
I simply just tweeted out, I'm tired, boss.
Yeah.
Mostly just because of, and again, some people went the different route and said, hey, clears up the guard rotation.
Mm-hmm. I think that's the easiest thing to first conclusion.
Exactly, yeah. But when I go that angle, I'm like, he's the lengthiest of the guards, defense be damned, right? Like, hopefully this is the year that you were able to squeeze something out of him defensively. Maybe give him the ultimatum, like, you want minutes in this guard lineup? Play some damn defense. Mm-hmm. So that was the, initial reaction is like, dude, regardless of what he is defensively, he still has the most potential to disrupt longer offensive players. And obviously Drew, he's going to play some more of that, like, 2-ish in some of these lineups with if it's like John Drew or Damon Drew. But also just, it was another, it's just another tally mark in the list of lottery picks that aren't going to work out.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to see it. What is it? It's August, so trying to do quick math on here, which is dangerous. Late February, early March is when you're going to see them.
All-Star break.
And then you're going to have a sample size of 20-ish games to, and forgive me, Danny got his contract off the top of his head, but he's got, what, 2 years? 2 years left? 3 years?
No, he's got 4 years, 90 left, I believe.
I thought this, is the extension kicking in? Is that what it is? So, obviously he's under contract, so, and then now with a torn meniscus, the value is going to be going down as far as his trade value. Don't know what you do with him going into the future. Just ride it out, because what other options you do? But it just sucks. It sucks. It's another example of a lottery pick in the Blazers history that is not coming to fruition. And this is one that a lot of people were hoping to, because of what you saw in his skill set. And sans a couple highlight dunks, a couple games here and there where he went off. It really sucks. You're not going to be able to see what could be for another 6 months, and again, what that could be might not even be in the future.
Yeah, and we can get to the Joe Cronin aspect of this here in a moment. My first reactions are Shaedon's injury prone. That's the big one for me.
Yeah,
it leads a lot to kind of the questions we had of Shaedon Sharpe at the end of the season last year. Couldn't get on the floor. I know there's a lot of listeners to this program that are like, how is he not playing? Like, the guy can score 20 points a game and he's not getting into rotations. How is this possible? How is this possible? Nobody can shoot on this team. Why are you leaving these points off the bench? It's because we've seen two coaches now in Chauncey Billups and Tiago Splitter not trust him in big game situations down the stretch. And a lot of that is that motor. Now, I don't know what leads to the meniscus tear. I do not have nearly anywhere the athletic abilities that Shaedon Sharpe has. And to your point, Joe, Shaedon might be the most athletic player on this team. In fact, Shaedon Sharpe might be a top 5 athletic player in the league, which that's how crazy his athleticism is. But when you talk about what's going on between the ears, what's going on upstairs, that drive, that motor, I don't know if that leads to injuries. I don't know if that puts you into a spot that makes you more susceptible to long-term absences. But when you start piecing all of these things together, the complete package that is Shaedon Sharpe is just a miss. It's just a whole lot of miss. It's a whole lot of what if. To quote Danny Marang, it's a whole lot of mystery box. And I think for me, my initial reaction was I went into last season pretty high on Shaedon. I drank the Kool-Aid with a lot of our listeners and a lot of Blazers fandom of like, I think this is going to be a big year for Shaedon.
Well, to your defense, I think we had to.
Yeah, and then injuries come along, and okay, you kind of give him a little bit of slack there. Danny and I would battle about it throughout the season, but I wanted to be cautiously optimistic about what Shaedon Sharpe can bring to the squad. You get to the end of the season, he's fully healthy. The Blazers need bodies and need scoring, and he is not an option. And now going into this year, when I see this injury, my initial reaction is, okay, I'm done. Like, contract be damned. 5-guard rotation be damned. Like, all of those things, the contract, the 5 guards on the squad, hell, even the Joe Cronin aspect that we'll get to in a moment, all of that stuff is out the window for me because right now I'm just kind of like, you know what? I'm over this. I'm done. I would like to move on. And that is awful when you're thinking about this team trying to rebuild and getting superstars through the draft. Because I don't know how anyone at this time could stick up for Shaedon. And it sucks because we don't want to like bash him because he got hurt or criticize him because he got hurt, because that stuff can be honestly super random and it can be degenerative in your genetics and how your body is made up. And like Brandon Roy didn't choose for his knees to go out. Okay. Greg Oden didn't choose and Bill Walton didn't choose for their feet to be terrible. Sometimes it just happens. But there's so many things that are piling up and adding to it that I don't know how to get past it. That is just kind of like, for me, it's like, thanks, amigo. I'll remember you, but I'm kind of out.
So yeah, the meniscus tear, now left fibula stress fracture back in February, where he missed, was that like 30 games almost. Core muscle injury in 23-24 required him to miss 32 games in his second season. And he's going into year 5. Like, this is, in what people will look at, like, year 5, 23 years old, though. Like, still pretty young. But my initial reaction, like I said, it sucks. And when it comes down to the future with him, I'm kind of with you, where I'm just like, dude, all right, like, I'm good. Like, we're going into year 5, and year 5 is now going to be 25% games played, if that. Like, I'm cool. We had the opportunity to trade him this offseason and include him in something. Mm-hmm. And now you probably are looking in retrospect like, damn, now that value for him, a leaper with a torn meniscus, is going to go down drastically if you are looking to offload that contract in any way.
Without a doubt.
I think that's just my biggest issue with the entire situation is because you're in such this guard mayhem, if you will, Shaedon Sharpe didn't make sense in the grand scheme of the future. So all you were trying to probably look to do was see what teams you could present Shaedon Sharpe as valuable to option else, to get that contract off your books, and to just make sense of this roster in the future. This sucks. This just really sucks.
Now, one of the positive aspects, I know it's weird to like think of positives of guys getting injured, and there's no positive to Shaedon getting injured. Listening to Dirt and Sprague this morning, if you missed them, go back and check that out. Wherever you get your podcasts, they put it very well, and I'm lockstep with them. The positive news is I don't know how much Shaedon being out really affects the Blazers this season. I kind of wrestled a little bit with changing the board to 0. That's the joke of the letter 0. Sorry, it didn't land well. I wrestled with that a little bit, and as I started thinking more and more, and a lot of it is Joe Cronin, we'll get to that in a moment. The reason that the board is, I was tempted to not change it to 0 days since bad news, is because I don't think there was going to be a ton of minutes to go around for Shaedon anyway.
With or without Shaedon Sharpe, the identity of this Blazers team doesn't change.
Exactly. This team is kind of just still what it is. It still needs Dame and Ja to figure out how to not be the worst defensive backcourt in the history of the NBA together, how Drew Holiday mixes in that. Can Tumani's three-point shot get better? Can Denny's mid-range get better? And can Donovan not get worked by the best centers in the league? Like, those questions still remain. And I don't know if Shaedon being healthy was going to tell me that Donovan Clingan, who I love, who is my favorite Blazer right now, how Donovan Clingan isn't going to get worked by Wembanyama in a playoff. That question still lives. Can Tumani Kamara make more threes and still play lockdown defense? That question still learns. Can Denny's game evolve from just being a bulldoze to the hoop? That question still remains. Damon Jaw playing defense. That question remains. Hell, Damian Lillard playing a full 30 minutes a night at all-star level. That's a question that still remains. So if you want to look positive to the Blazers, the good news is this team, in my opinion, I don't think it affects win-loss record.
No, but to me, it's just it affects depth.
And for sure.
To me, it's like where you say like, oh yeah, it's the like lineup like as far as odd man out of the 4 or of the 5 guards, like Shaden probably being one of those. But also, I have to ask, it's like, all right, do you want 15 minutes going to Shaden Sharp, or do you want it going to Vic Krejci? Like,
sure.
But, and then on the flip side, it's like, well, then 50 minutes, would you rather have that go to Shaden or C.D. Cisco, who you know is going to fly around 100 miles per hour and give 100% effort, and you're not going to question his effort and his give and F factor when he's in the game. So that's where I looked at it. It's like that is depth you are losing. That is a scorer. Like, he can microwave and turn and get hot quick, and he's one of the, unfortunately, better shooters on the team. I mean,
he can create for himself. Not awesome creating for others, but can create for himself.
He averaged 20 points last year during his time. So, like, you're missing some offensive depth there. It's just a matter of now there's 4 guards. Now you do have 4 guards, 4-point guards. All like, let's not
you
get it
did
twisted.
lose the one true shooting guard.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like, the length is gone out of that group lineup.
But he was giving you 20 without Dame.
Exactly.
So what with Dame do you think that point scoring would have dropped down to?
I do.
And this is all under the assumption that Dame returns to form and
Question
Drew
still
Holiday
exists.
doesn't, somehow hit that retirement wall where he is cooked by a 22-year-old and then realizes, damn, I don't have it in me anymore.
But I'll trust Dame with 14 shots. I'll trust Dame with 14 shots any day of the week over Shaden Sharp going 4 of 19.
Ditto, and I still have that question about Dame, but I still believe that answer is more
truthful. I'll take
truthful.
Dame off of Achilles, jacking up 14 shots versus whatever Shaden's going to be.
23-year-old, yeah.
Let's
take a quick break. When we come back, I want to stick on this, why the board went to 0 for me. And that's a question about the front office, because this is not just a loss of a bench player, role player. It's a loss of an identity and the previous administration. We'll do that next. There's Casey with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, some Blazers news if you missed it yesterday, as Shaden Sharp sustained a torn meniscus and is expected to miss 6 months. Sharp suffered a torn meniscus in his right knee during a personal workout, and while the timeline for his recovery is yet to be determined, Sharp could miss a large majority of the 2026 season. Some college football news for you, as the Big Ten is set to pass a rule that will not allow players to return to the NCAA from the NFL. Players who have declared for the NFL draft and did not withdraw, appeared on an NFL roster, or signed a contract with a pro league cannot be on a Big Ten roster, sources told Pete Thamel. This comes in wake of the Xavier Harris and Daquan Wright parting with their prospective NFL teams to join Lane Kiffin at LSU. Finally, over to the WNBA as your Portland Fire face off against Paige Beckers and the Dallas Wings tonight at 5 p.m. Fire are 8.5-point underdogs coming into the contest, as you can catch all of tonight's coverage right over on 9:10 a.m. when pregame starts at 4:45. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Lowercase from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
The home of dirt and spray.
In the Mood by Glenn Miller?
I know it can't be by anybody.
I know.
It's by my homie A.
So I when we rolled out the new Odyssey music bump back, I remember going to Dusty about that, and I'm like, do I have to do that? Like,
Are you just poo-pooing on your own show, Joe?
well, listen, I'm a realist, okay? I'm pretty self-aware, and I was
I used to do a Tuesday night show with you. I'm fully aware.
I'm like, I definitely don't think the monetization of Sports Saturday is a top priority. So can I still keep using my Pusha T and Kendrick Lamar bump backs? And he's like, yeah, sure, go ahead.
Are you guys still not on Spotify?
Oh, yeah, we were banned like a year and a half ago.
Why?
Because I think we got caught like playing some music or something like that. Yeah.
I do love when I meet people in the wild. They're like, dude, I love the Fur Man, but I miss the Hot Corner. I listen every single week. And I was just like, why?
Hey! Honestly, Patrick, just, we'll I'll say this one thing and get back into Blazer stuff. I don't know if I would have been able to do the Hot Corner this year based off of my Orioles and the Mariners.
Ooh. That'd have been tough.
I take Schulte for everything he is, but the Mariners this year,
Oh, brutal.
dude, I would have. Yeah, no. And
What's
then
that
just
show when Rutschman gets traded?
and then Dodgers getting scuba. Like
Yeah,
it would have just
would've
like
been rough.
I literally said a couple weeks ago to Sprague, I was like, I can't wait for the lockout next year. It's gonna be so awesome.
I hate you. You're not a real Blazer
Tired
fan.
of this, Grandpa.
That's too damn bad!
Can't be a real
am.
Blazer
You can't dig
fan.
it.
Can't be a real baseball fan if you're stoked for a lockout.
Can't wait.
The biggest reason, if you're not familiar with the show, if this is your first time listening, thanks. We appreciate you. Honk your horn. There's been a running tally on the board behind me that you can see on YouTube that says Days Since Bad News. It was created during the Tom Dundon ownership, local city council people
Kerfuffle.
kerfuffle that was going on. And so
brouhaha.
we got tired of there always being bad days. So we tried to will into existence. The Shaden Sharp injury, as we just spoke about, shouldn't have a ton of effect on court. Obviously, we'll have some, but I think a lot of us are kind of in agreement that it's not the end of the world for the Blazers. This isn't Denny Avdia going down. If Denny Avdia goes down, adios, muchachos. However, the reason that I have chosen to push this to zero and gotten some corroboration from our other hosts here at the station is I think this is really indicative on the front office. I think this is really, really a glaring light on a lot of the misgivings that the front office has had, specifically this one in the post-Neil O'Shea era. You have 3 lottery picks, okay? 3 lottery picks in 4 years, I believe. And so in those 3 lottery picks, you have Shaden Sharp, who can't stay healthy and doesn't look focused. You have Scoot Henderson, who runs into health issues and massive inconsistencies. And you have Donovan Clingan, who's been the bright spot of the 3 of them, but got absolutely smoked by big men in the playoffs.
Technically not a lottery pick because we traded out of said lottery Young Hansen. So
Correct. And Young Hansen, if you want to throw that in
draft pick, but not lottery.
As the 4th draft pick, you lose that in the Young Hansen because you have a player that you literally cannot put on the court. Can't play in Rip City remix and can't play for the Blazers. So that's a huge indictment on this front office.
And you literally, you had a lottery pick in that draft and decided to trade down from the 11th
Yes, and I think a lot of people like Cedric Coward on Memphis. That would have been a nice player to have on this squad, or anybody that could actually fill some minutes.
The Blazers haven't drafted well since 2018. And even then, is Anthony Simons a great pick?
No, not at all.
He's on a 2-year, $12 million right now?
So the best draft pick in the last 15 years?
CJ?
Was 2012 and 2013.
CJ and Dame?
in 2012, CJ in 2013.
That's Neil O'Shea, though.
Yeah.
And so with Joe Cronin in this situation, look, the Damian Lillard haul was huge, okay? You basically gave up Damian Lillard for 3 years, 4 if you count the injury, 3 years, and in return, you got 3 pick swaps with the Milwaukee Bucks, which look pretty good. You got Denny Avdia, Tumani Kamara. That's nice building blocks for this team, okay? You have all these assets piled together, and we talk about going all in and going all in that it's going to hurt, and that's a direct quote from Joe Cronin. And you have all these assets, and we're talking in the offseason, all this guard depth, okay? You trade for Ja Morant, so you think to yourself, there's a promo that plays that Isaac Robb says, and he's spot on. If this was the last part of the offseason, it would be great, but it's the first. and nothing else came from it. You're sitting on these assets, these depreciating assets. Now, dare I say, damn near one of them is an empty asset, and you're getting nothing for it. Not even throwing a flyer. Your flyer is on Ja Morant, which I think is a nice flyer, and we've talked about that at extent. If Ja can be old Ja, buckle up. That could be a lot of fun, but that's a big if. I mean, what's a bigger if? Ja returning to form or Damian Lillard returning to form? They're both big ifs, but my biggest if is Ja, easily.
But if either one hits, you're happy with the decision.
Totally. But you're sitting on all these assets. You can't draft correctly. That's clear. You can't broker deals. That's clear. Right now, would you have traded 2 first-round picks, Shea and Scoot, for Giannis, even if he doesn't come back? The answer is yes. The answer is absolutely yes. So we're sitting on all these assets, doing nothing with them, and that creates problems for me. Like Micah Nori, bro, I hope you only have 1 year so you can go get a job somewhere else that might be an actual successful franchise. This isn't dad anymore, in my opinion. This isn't mom and dad and ownership and the local media and the local Congress people, however you want to name them, the people in political office. This is a roster construction issue. You now have an asset that you can't do anything with, and that falls on the GM. Tom Dundon didn't own the team when Shaden Sharp was drafted. Tom Dundon didn't own the team when Shaden Sharp was chosen by 2 coaches not to play in big games down the stretch. That's why the board's at 0. Because the bad news is this front office, I think, is inept.
I agree with you, and I think that there's a couple people with this Blazers organization that hung on from the old regime that are willing to essentially do whatever it takes to keep their jobs, and I think Cronin is one of them. And because I thought that he should have been let go when Dundon took over. I thought that on the basketball operations side, things should have been completely turned over. New head coach, new everything.
Tear it down to the studs.
Yeah. And I hope that Dundon starts to, I don't know when he starts or just over time, just takes little notations like, okay, he drafted him and now this is happening. Okay, he made this move and then this is happening. And that Cronin's leash is a lot shorter than he knows, and that Dundon is ready to make a move after a year. If he looks at this team and is like, yeah, this is what you put together? No. I mean, how many realistic years of mediocre, middle of the road, what we've basically seen from the Blazers the last 15 years, 20 years, how many seasons of that do you think Dundon is willing to put up based off of roster construction? Because the coach, that's a Dundon move essentially,
sure,
right? So
at least the contract aspect of it.
Yes. So like he's not gonna make any moves after 1 year, 2 years.
But if he brings in also a guy that he can trust, that he has a good relationship with, that's a guy that'll probably stay around for the long term.
I'm honestly shocked that he didn't get a new GM.
Casey and I talked about this the other day before the show. We were talking about Michigan football, and how there's this like random belief that Michigan is going to be good this year because Kyle Whittingham got hired. And we were talking, there's still people on that staff that are around from Sharon Moore and Jim Harbaugh.
You threw a Band-Aid on a breaking dam.
Now, it's a beautiful Band-Aid in Kyle Whittingham, but they should have just fired everybody. You're Michigan, clean house. You're a professional NBA squad. New owner comes in, you just wipe it clean. You know, I don't know Dwayne Hankins. I don't know Joe Cronin. From all accounts, they sound like really nice people, and that's awesome. But if I were to buy the team, you're all gone. We're all changing how this works. Because now we're still seeing, without games being played, the old regime still doing old regime stuff.
And you've proven over the past 5, 6, maybe even 10 years that you've struggled to be an evaluator of talent.
Agreed.
That's my biggest issue.
Your rebuild was 4 draft picks, and one of them plays.
I just look at the draft picks.
One of them plays.
Where's the hit?
It's Donovan Clingan. You're hoping, but did you watch Donovan against San Antonio?
But you're hoping for a hit.
Oof.
That's really rough. You're hoping for a hit. That's a reach.
With Cronin so far, the tenure, I'm in that C+ range. Honestly, it's just the drafting is
I think that's nice of you too.
I think
the Dame trade is big. And what he got for it, and some plate pieces he was able to move around.
Well, and the Denny move is
Bub Carrington for Denny Avdia. That's a nice move.
Yeah, and Malcolm Brogdon, where's he?
Yeah,
and drafting Clingan, that is a hit. Like that,
Tumani Kamara's a hit.
Yeah, so that's why I'm giving him the C+. But in a town city like Portland where drafting is as important as it is and hitting on lottery picks to miss 3 out of 4 times. This ain't baseball. If you're batting 250, I'll put up with it. When it comes to drafting the NBA, that's unacceptable.
Yeah.
Nas Little, is that a hit?
No.
No.
Where's he?
CJ Ellaby, is that a hit?
Go Cougs.
Patrick might tell you one thing. Right?
No, not at all. He wasn't on people's draft boards.
Isaiah Stewart, is that a hit?
No.
Jabari Walker,
Wait,
is that it?
Beef
Beef
Stew?
stew?
Well,
He's a hit, but not here.
Not here. Again, Jabari Walker, is that a hit?
No.
Gabriel Procida.
Kazoon tight.
Thank you. Shaden Sharp.
Nope.
Rupert.
Nope.
Chris Murray.
Nope.
Scoot Henderson.
Nope. I'll wait on Scoot.
Tyler Kolek.
Who?
what?
Bob Carrington.
Is that what a
Donovan
baby has?
Clingan.
Calic?
Bub Carrington's a hit because he turns into Denny Avdia, but it's not because it's Bub Carrington. Do you think Washington wishes they had Denny Avdia instead of Bub Carrington?
This is my biggest issue. The talent pool. I mean, what are we?
They suck at drafting
Dude,
regardless who's
It's
there.
really bad.
It's not even
What
opinion.
are we evaluating?
It's not even opinion anymore. It's right there.
Yeah.
It's right there. It's facts.
This franchise can't draft, and until somebody else gets in that GM seat, then we'll find out then. But for the time being, when draft day comes around next year, maybe thank God the Blazers didn't have a first-round pick this year because they can't figure it out.
We'll circle back here around this on the Big Nooner, so stay tuned for that. When we come back, the SEC makes a statement, but the B1G is actually doing something about it. 105.1 The Fan Sports Network.
The biggest.
Number deuce coming up. We'll get into free consultation, 503-864-6326. You guys want to ask Blazer questions, you're more than welcome to in terms of consultation or your work life, your love life, your personal life, whatever you might need. That's at 11:15. We'll talk about some quarterback starters named in the Pacific Northwest. Have some show news for you for the rest of the week as well on that front. But let's kind of get into this real quickly. Look, we've talked about it for the last few days. I think we mentioned something on Friday about it a little bit, definitely yesterday. We've got Joe Fisher in the house. The SEC puts out a statement yesterday that is, long story short, like, we disagree with this. We don't think professional athletes should play. Well,
the guys going back from the NFL.
Correct.
Yeah, gotcha.
Correct. They were just like, this is not how college sports work, and we're opposed to it.
I'm a host. I know what's going on.
Well, but B1G came out and were like, you know what? We also agree, and therefore we are coming up with literature and verbiage to prohibit it. And, not to keep using this board behind me as a prop for bits, but I almost want to put like a meter of who's in charge more, the Big Ten or the SEC, and watch it flip from side to side, because the SEC could have easily come out and said, you know what, we're against this. We're not going to do this. We've spoken to Lane Kiffin. We've spoke to LSU and said, guys, it's not going to happen. They agreed. We've moved on. No, they're just like, well, we disagree, but old Lane down there can do whatever he wants.
But this one time.
This one time for Lane, we'll let it go.
We'll let it go.
Because we want him to get LSU back to prominence down here. And the B1G was just kind of like, no, we're out on it.
This is interesting also because there is a team in the Big Ten that is dealing with this right now, and it's UCLA, because they have the former Sun Belt Defensive Player of the Year on their team, and Oregon fans should know who that is because he came from James Madison, Trent Hendrick. He is on UCLA, and he went undrafted in the NFL. UCLA's new head coach, where'd he come from? James Madison.
Yep.
And so he was like, hey, dude, you didn't get drafted? Come on back. I'll take UCLA. You can come on to school over here. We'll take you. What are they going to do now? He went to 2 NFL mini camps.
It's almost like if they got to the point where they said, yeah, you know what, this is weird, but it's only going to happen this year.
And
it's only going to happen this year, so we'll let it go.
Here's a report from 3 hours ago. This coming from California Post that he's in practice for UCLA today. So maybe they're trying to introduce it before the season, or if you're, like you're saying, or it's like, damn, dude, this is all happening so fast that we're going to miss it for a year. And because you got to put the kibosh on this. You cannot let this be a thing.
Well, and this was the thing that I was kind of yelling about yesterday. It's that so often people come out and say, you can't do this, you can't do this. So it's like, well, then do something about it. The NCAA has no controlling power. The SEC, Greg Sankey has basically said that. They have meetings all the time on whether or not they should just govern themselves. And in reality, you can govern yourself because the NCAA doesn't have the cojones to come after you for it. So if you're the SEC, that's why I give Petiti and the B1G a lot more credit on this for trying to come out and say, no, we're working on literature and verbiage to make sure that this doesn't happen. To where the SEC, to Bleak's comment on the YouTube, it's spot on. In all honesty, it just shows how desperate and flailing the SEC is since it's been years since they won a title. Whether that's true or not.
We'll take a grown-ass man.
Whether it's true or not, that's the aesthetic the SEC is building. We're against this, but, we just can't do anything about it. Now, to their defense...
Rules for thee, not for me.
Now, to their defense, it will just get sued. It will just go to a court of law because that's where college football is now. You go for Tommy Castellanos, who's from Georgia, played at Florida State, Boston College, and I can't remember the third place, UCF, okay? Got a judge's ruling in Kentucky. The bro's been to Kentucky once because he played there against Kentucky. So, you can go find a judge in Alaska who's like, I one time visited Texas A&M and I like them.
You all right there?
Excuse me, I am all right.
Bless
I
you.
had to sneeze. Thank you.
I find this I find it fascinating just also because of what we dealt with in college basketball. Literally went through the same thing how many months ago where guys were trying to come from Euro leagues or whatever that had been professionals.
Well, that's
already,
the other question. Is Europe different than the NFL? Is playing basketball at Real Madrid and Barcelona in Spain different than playing in a Saints minicamp?
And this is where you have people that write long-ass bills, documents, laws, all this stuff. But me, I'm going to say this in kind of a wrapped-up, easy statement. If you decide to leave college...
It's plain and simple.
And you are not enrolled in college anymore in any capacity, and your eligibility has been used up, you want to go to a professional rank, you declare for a draft, you go to a mini camp, you go over to Europe and play for the Turkey team. I don't care.
Turkey. It's pronounced Turkey.
Excuse me. Yes, in 2026.
Respect Ennis Cantor Freedom's family.
Oh yes, of course. How could I forget? That it's pretty like common sense. I left school to go become a professional. I didn't make it. Sure, you can go back to school to get a better education if you want, but your athletic career, you're done.
Yeah.
You're done.
Yeah, it's kind
Your
of
eligibility ends at the 5-year mark or whatever that they're trying to set in place, or when you say, I'm out of here, I'm leaving school, I'm leaving college athletics. You don't just get to come back to 2-3 years later.
One of the biggest things that I was saying is I understand now, because remember it used to be once you hired an agent, you were toast?
Yeah.
Once you hired an agent, you were done. Now, I think you should be able to hire an agent now because there's so much money involved, and you're basically, you need an agent because you're basically an employee and you need to negotiate these things. So I'm totally down with that. But you're spot on. Dan Lanning has said this. Ryan Day has said it. When you decide to put on a professional uniform, go into the draft, you can rescind from the draft. If you want to say, if Dante Moore is like, you know what, I'm going to go to the draft, and they're like, cool, you're going to get taken second overall by the Jets, and you're like, you know what, take backsies. I'm going to go back to Oregon. You can do that. But if he's at practice camp at the Jets and they're like, this Dante Moore kid ain't got it. He's J.J. McCarthy. He's going to be third on the depth chart. J.J. can't go back to Michigan. Can't. No. You can't. Once you don that, you got to be done. Well, it's just so simple.
We play college football games this Saturday. You want to tell me that kids are going to be able to come back to programs and learn it within a week?
Well, and this is where
thrown into the mix because they've been getting NFL level reps?
And this is where Bob,
get out of here.
Well, this is where Bob Chesney for UCLA is making the case. Dude, this guy was literally on my team last year. Can jump right in. He knows the system. It's not like we're just getting this 30-year-old grizzled veteran to jump in.
Then you should have made space for him when the roster construction got started. What are we talking about? You didn't think that he was going to be around, so you started to build pieces around it. Now you're probably going to end up taking a scholarship away from a kid that you gave it to, a younger guy who you're probably hoping you can develop, and you're going to take it away from a 17-year-old kid, give it away from a 24-year-old guy who's pretty much a professional?
It's just dumb.
I have some breaking news in the entertainment industry.
I know you do. Let's put a pin in it because we're up against it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. When we come back, we'll discuss some pop culture news and starting quarterbacks in the Pacific Northwest. Hour number deuce, 105.1 The Fan.
DQ presents.
Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, some Blazers news if you missed it yesterday, as Shaedon Sharpe sustained a torn meniscus and is expected to miss 6 months. Sharpe suffered a torn meniscus in his right knee during a personal workout, and while the timeline for his recovery is yet to be determined, Sharpe could potentially miss the majority of the 2026 season. Some college football news for you, as the Big Ten is set to pass a rule that will not allow for players to return to the NCAA from the NFL. Players who have declared for the NFL draft and did not withdraw, appeared on an NFL roster, or signed a contract with a pro league cannot be on a Big Ten roster. Sources told Pete Thamel this comes in wake of the Xavier Harris and Daquan Wright parting with their prospective NFL teams to join Lane Kiffin at LSU. And finally, over to the WNBA as your Portland Fire face off against Paige Beckers and the Dallas Wings tonight at 5 p.m. Fire are 8.5-point underdogs coming into the contest, as you can catch all of tonight's coverage over on 9:10 a.m. when pregame starts at 4:45. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Lowercase from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
The home of the Fan Happy Hour.
Produce here. If you missed any of the first hour, you can download that on the Fan Podcast, 1051thefan.com, the Odyssey app, wherever you get your podcasts. If you missed the first hour, give Casey over there about 10, 15 minutes. We'll get that up for you. If you can't wait, jump on the Odyssey app or YouTube's Rewind, Fast Forward, except for in the future, for that would be impossible. If you missed Dirt and Sprague this morning, the Dirty Poll marches on. Oklahoma hits the list at number 9. Dare I say sneakily, I might have Oklahoma in my Final Four this year.
Why?
I like that defense a lot, and I think Mateer is obviously I'm biased, but I think Mateer is a experienced quarterback, and if he can stay healthy this year, is going to be a better quarterback in college football.
Well,
one of the top tier guys.
They are smelling what Venables is stepping in because they just gave him that new contract the other day. So
I'm starting to lean my Final Four, starting to lean a little like Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Oregon, and maybe Texas.
Okay.
Which would be hilarious.
You're betting against Signetti.
Which would be hilarious if the SEC finally wins a national championship again, and it's Texas or Oklahoma.
It would be funny.
The Big 12 guys. The Johnny-come-lates.
Possible Red River rivalry semifinal
Dude,
matchup?
that would be insane. That would be insane.
Imagine that in the national championship, too. The world would cease to exist.
We got some cool news in the Pacific Northwest. We'll get to free consultation here in about 10 minutes or so. So get those in 503-864-6326.
Cool news?
Cool news?
We have cool news in the Pacific Northwest?
Right. Well, I think so. Quarterbacks?
Oh, okay. I was gonna say I thought we weren't allowed to have cool things in the Pacific Northwest.
No, that's just
In
Portland in
Portland.
professional teams.
Got it.
Because
All
you
right.
guys refuse to acknowledge that the Portland Timbers, as a professional squad, have like some good news going on right
You know
now.
how we're getting like a music venue across the river in the
Mm-hmm.
like Central East side? Someone posted pictures on some of the social media.
I saw it too, yeah.
First comment: "This is stupid. Why would we put this here? Why would we do this and that and this?" And people are like, "Oh my God, we're getting a new concert venue."
There better be a curfew.
Oh, it's on by Live Nation. Did you know? Oh, okay. Come on, for the love of God.
Does that mean that we'll actually get good artists to come?
Yeah, maybe. God forbid.
That would be awesome.
Yeah.
Look, Live Nation has taken a ton of my money. They just took more because I'm going to shows during Labor Day.
Yeah.
So like
they get
I'm
good
out.
artists and they have good productions.
We'll get to our pop culture news in the free consultation because I do want to spend some time talking about quarterbacks in the Pacific Northwest. Oregon State and Washington State have named theirs. Danny will be back on Thursday. Right now, we're going to preview the Oregon Ducks on Thursday, the Washington Huskies on Thursday, and on Friday we have the Washington State Cougars to preview, and we're trying to fit in Oregon State. I just don't know where that's going to happen yet. Still working on that, TBD. But speaking of Oregon State and Washington State, they have named their starting quarterbacks. According to Pete Thamel, Oregon State has named Mercer transfer Braden Atkinson the starting quarterback. He'll debut at number 23 Houston on September 5th. If you are not familiar with him, he won the Jerry Rice Award for the top player in FCS in 2025, and he beat out Malik Murphy for the starting job. 6'1" sophomore.
Yeah, in 2025, he threw for 3,600 yards, 34 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
And I believe the Jerry Rice Award is actually the best FCS freshman is the award, because the Walter Payton Award is the best FCS player, essentially the FCS Heisman. So I'm pretty sure he was the best FCS freshman last year at Mercer. I hardly knew her.
Yeah, given to the top freshman player in NCAA Division I football, FCS.
There you go.
Now, this goes back to our conversation about Joe Cronin and the Blazers, back to our Michigan and Kyle Whittingham / Sharon Moore, Jim Harbaugh. Look, I'm not going to pretend to know if Braden Atkinson is great. I don't know Mercer. I don't remember where Mercer is. That's a basketball school for me who's sneaking to the tournament every once in a while.
The dude can throw the ball.
Yeah, but so I'm not going to sit here and try to break down if Braden Atkinson, and hopefully we can get somebody on that's smarter than me to talk about Braden Atkinson this week.
The Mercer beat writer?
The Mercer beat writer. No, give me a Beef Nation kind of person. But the Malik Murphy situation, I find it very interesting that the incoming transfer starts over Malik Murphy. And I think some of that, too, is, look, you can see that there's some skill on Malik Murphy. Stop laughing.
I'm sorry, just the Mercer beat writer. I cracked myself up.
You can see there was some nice things about Malik Murphy last year, but I think things are so bad at Oregon State, whether it's Trent Bray, defensive coordinator at Wazoo, or the Scott Barnes, the whole situation. I like the idea of Jamarcus Shepard coming in and kind of going with his guys and kind of saying, I brought this transfer in. He believes in the system better. It's time to move on. Malik, if you want to go, go. I like that aspect.
What do you got to lose? Honestly, I mean, what's their win-loss over-under this year in Vegas? 4.5?
Yeah. What do you have to lose kind of thing? He's a sophomore. Yeah. Get him out there. Get him some reps.
Now, granted, on the flip side, I could also say the same about Malik Murphy. It's like, what do you have to lose? You have literally no expectations with him at this point. So, but yeah, go with the kid that has more upside. Like Malik Murphy, I think you've seen the upside.
I think we've seen Malik
And that
Murphy.
was like 3 years ago in Texas. Mm-hmm. That was about it.
Yep.
And then he went to Duke, and now he's at Oregon State, and he can't even get the job at Oregon State. Like, we're good.
It reminds me a lot of DJU.
Yeah.
DJU had some promise, looked okay, and then didn't. And
San Diego or Los Angeles Charger. DJU.
Does he still have eligibility? Could he come back?
Oregon State want him back?
I just like it, and I think it makes Oregon State, again, more fascinating. Now, their schedule to start is brutal. Okay, you're going on the road to Houston. You come home and you host Texas State. You're hoping to not lose by 30 in both those games.
Dude, compared to some of these, and granted, it's nice to be a top team in college because, some of these guys who have been named starters, it's like, you get to play Austin Peay.
I know. And
how about Furman?
For Braden Atkinson, you get number 3 Houston.
Yeah.
But then you'll come home and get Texas Tech.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the idea of starting from
throw
scratch.
him to the Wolves, though. I mean, right away.
Why not? If you're picked to win 4 games, no one's firing Jamarcus Shepard after this year. Give him a leash.
Yeah.
Why not?
If
things go really, really bad for Braden, you can throw in Malik Murphy.
Oh, yeah. It's one of those where it's just like, Bees fans, you're going to have to see some things the first few games. Like, it's going to get pretty ugly, but this is just one of those, like, this is a long journey to see where this kid ends up. And you're absolutely right. If it's like an absolute abomination in the first 3-4 games, it comes to a point where a coach says, screw development, we need to win some games. Like, it's the whole everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the mouth. Like, if the Beavs start out 0-3, 0-4 with an absolutely putrid offense, then Jamarcus Shepard is pulling the cord and moving on to Malik Murphy. But also Beavs fans expect an 0-3, 0-4 start. And maybe this kid shows you a little bit of something where you're like, hey, there is something to keep him in there and keep him working out the kinks. So that way he can finish out this season, and then we'll see what we have going into next year with him.
My biggest thing is limit the turnovers in the first 2 games because those defenses are going to be flying around and doing dangerous things.
Yeah,
And
and
also-
also, if you're 3 and out, if you can't run the game, if you can't run the ball, if you can't, if you can't get to wide receivers, that's okay.
Again, but this is a guy where in his last 6 games threw the ball over 33 times each time.
Yeah.
So against
Reps.
Furman, he was 28 of 49 for 426 yards and 4 touchdowns. Against, believe that's WCU. Help me out there.
Sure, I'll believe it. Let's go with
Western Connecticut.
Western Coastal University.
Again, they won 49-47. He threw
Is there a West
23 of
Connecticut?
39, 443 yards.
I think there's a West Connecticut.
This is a guy that just lets the arm loose, can make his throws, and can complete the ball at a pretty strong level.
This is where the bar is so low for Oregon State this year. But you said something, Patrick, that this is what I'm talking about, like the bar that they have to clear to just help this kid out. You said, hey man, got to take your lumps, like 3 and outs. What happens after the 3 and out? A punt?
Maybe if you can get it off.
This is where, like, for
What
the
if
love
you're
of
in
God,
field goal range?
should have spent at least a third of every practice in training camp just on special teams.
Can you imagine if your highest NIL were your punter, your kicker, your placeholder, and your long snapper?
It really should be, okay? But, I mean, that's where it's just like, help this kid out with giving him good field position and not putting him in a 20-3 hole with 2 of those touchdowns coming off of blocked kicks or muffed kicks or whatever the case is. Like, literally, 80-year-old Joe, I remember the 2025 Oregon State season, the most god-awful display of special teams I've ever seen in my life.
You're not going to remember.
I will. You call me. What year is 80-year-old Joe Fisher? 2060, 2062, something like that? Call me, all right? Put it in the time capsule.
I'll just call Joe Fisher the 5th.
Yeah, he might be around then.
He might be the quarterback at Oregon State.
Let's hope.
Let's hope. The other quarterback news in the Pacific Northwest is my Washington State Cougs have named Caden Pinnock as the starting quarterback. For those that aren't familiar, he transferred from UC Davis in Kirby Moore's heavy transfer portal class. Last year at UC Davis, 3,200 yards, 32 touchdowns, 10 interceptions. Some elusive escapability. Maybe not the most fun arm. It's a little Cam Wardy. From what I see from Caden Pinnock, who's in a little bit of surprise for me, beat out Julian Duger, who did get some reps last year, but ultimately Zevi Eckhouse took over the reins.
Where did that
for that job?
Duger guy come from? Where did he transfer?
I don't remember.
Let's guess another FCS school.
Let's
go.
see.
No, that's FBS.
Let's see here.
I'm gonna go.
Oh, I know where he went.
Idaho.
The University of Pittsburgh. Or is
Oh.
it Pittsburgh University?
Huh? It's University of Pitt.
He was at Pitt.
Yeah, I think.
He was at Pitt.
I'm a Pitt fan. I don't even know which one it is.
In 2024 at Pitt, he had 21 attempts for 88 yards.
Cool.
Yeah, and then transferred to Wazoo.
What a
Oh,
resume.
sorry. That was rushing.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say.
Passing was 7 of 13.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Cade Pinnock starts, and we'll see how that goes. Washington State opens with UW and has Arizona in their first 4 games.
Do you mind if I rattle off 4 named starters real quick? Bam, bam. Also in college football.
Hit me.
Vanderbilt, they named senior Blaze Berlowitz the starter.
Diego Pavia doesn't have a 5th year?
No, unfortunately not. But we'll see. Did he? He's still in minicamp. Once he's done with minicamp, then he can. Oh.
He did get waived by the Ravens a few months
That's right. Yeah. I
After
remember
like
that, yeah.
20 minutes.
He will start week 1 against Austin P. But he's starting over the 5-star freshman Jared Curtis. He's the kid who left, decommitted from Georgia.
Right.
To go to
Oh, that is
Vanderbilt.
the news. I forgot they got that huge recruit. So
Yes.
he's not getting the starting
No,
job.
but they were saying they're going to try and integrate him into the game plan somehow, some way. So I'm sure certain formation sets, plays, all that. Tennessee named true freshman Faison Brandon as their week 1 starter. They will be taking on Furman. And then Aaron Philo transfer from Georgia Tech into Florida John Summerall will be starting him at Florida. Again, that's Aaron Philo from Georgia Tech. And then the best one of all, Ball State.
Oh, dude, you told me this.
Ball,
Hit me.
Ball State has named their starter, Keldrick Luster, at 5'10", 250 pounds.
That's a big boy.
Straight chode quarterback out there. Tuna can. They got a tuna can out there playing quarterback. Absolutely love it.
If he runs for a touchdown, I need it.
What's Ball State? Are they a week 0 team? I want to know.
No, they're not.
Oh, okay. You've already looked at all the weeks. You know the week 0 matchups, don't
Well,
you?
we have a really nice announcement for tomorrow for the show that's going to happen on Wednesdays throughout the season. And let's just say,
Ball State opens the year with Ohio State.
I know. I just looked at it. That poor bastard.
let's just say I am familiar with G6 and their schedule, and Ball State has not been on my radar.
I can't wait to see what Keldrick Luster does against Ohio State.
Dude, that's a big boy.
I signed me up for that.
Free consultation is next, 503-864-6326. We'll have some fun. Your personal life, your love life, your work life. And if you need some Blazer consultation, we can do that for you as well. That's Joe. I'm Patrick. 105.1 The Fan.
The home.
free consultation. We do it every single Tuesday. Shifting gears, moving it to 11:15, trying to have a little more fun, open up the big nooner for a little more sports. Joe Fisher in with me today. So let's have a little fun here in the hour number deuce. Free consultation. You need any help with your love life, your personal life, your family life, your work life, your Blazer life, whatever it might be, the firm is here to help you out. We'll start in the world of entertainment, though, and just kind of pass on some news to you that the great legendary dame herself, Dolly Parton, has passed away today at the age of 80 years old. It's a tough one, man.
That is a tough one. That's just an OG. That's a legend right there. At the age of 80, it's usually the whole, celebration of life versus grieving the loss almost, Like she's been around doing her thing for a while, but she's just a legend. She's an icon. We went to a Pickles game just a couple weeks ago. It was Dilly Parton night out at the park.
That's
true. I still remember watching 9 to 5 for the first time in my life.
Yep.
In high school during a movie class that we had to watch it. And that was my first introduction to her as the actress, the entertainer. Obviously, I knew some of her songs. I was not listening to a ton of Dolly in my formative years. But, dude, 9 to 5, that movie, I remember watching that and being like, as a 16-year-old boy, just being like, what's this movie about? All right, I guess I'll watch it. Love that movie. It was an awesome movie, and Dolly was an absolute star in it. She's a star in everything she did. That sucks. That's a tough loss.
Can I ask the question? I'm curious because Casey's a lot younger than us, so I'm curious what his generation would see and what the generation above us would say. Is Dolly Parton the first person we ever saw some serious up-tops from? The first time you were kind of like, whoa.
The first va-va-voom, if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're like 11 years old, and you're like, Mom, what?
Well, that was,
I'm going to go with yeah.
Well, and again, this is...
She was the aunt in the Hannah Montana show on Disney Channel, so I'm going to go with yeah.
She is Miley's godmother.
Well, I don't want to say
And she's a huge inspiration on Miley, and if you listen to this show, you know that I love Miley.
Well, and I think we're covering about, 20 years. You are 40...
I'm 41.
41.
Thanks.
Okay. Sorry.
Thanks, Joe.
Damn it.
Thanks, buddy.
You're just so mature, Patrick, and just so distinguished. I thought you had at least a couple more years. Casey's 26?
24.
24?
Killing us all early.
Again,
dude.
you guys it's just the maturity is just oozing from this show. And I'm 34. So
Joe, I still drink Sunny D and eat Gushers.
Dude, I will.
Maturity is not really
crushed
my
three
middle name.
three Gushers the other day. I'm right there with you.
I didn't drink beer last night.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
That's a first. But again,
I just didn't drink beer.
Our age range and what we know of Dolly, versus people that are 50s, 60s, 70 years old. Everything I understand is she was the first one to kind of show off the voluptuous nature of her of what she had up there, of what she was rocking, and it was very she would do interviews where people are like, "Oh, wow, Dolly, you're very promiscuous." She's like, "No, I just I'm a very strong woman, and I like showing what I got. I don't think there's anything wrong with that." She was one of the first true champions of that. And again, 9 to 5, that whole movie is about dude, screw the man. We're not going to put up with this. We're 3 strong women, and we're going to throw it right back in your face. Dolly during her Cowboys performance a couple years ago at Thanksgiving at halftime in the Cowboys cheerleader uniform. She's, dude, absolute legend.
When I heard the news,
it took me by surprise, I must say.
I knew she'd been battling a little health, but she, R.I.P. Knocked it down. We won't forget you, girl. I promise.
I seen Jolene to my son, but instead of Jolene, I say Joey. And I will sing that to him all the time, whether he likes it or not.
My 9-year-old Bubba, his favorite artists are Nancy Sinatra and Dolly Parton. It's going to be sad when I let Bubba know that Dolly passed today.
Mm-hmm. A good text. Someone said that, what is it, her and Kenny Rogers.
Yep, Island in the Stream.
Yep, they'll be up there singing that together now.
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm sure a bunch of people don't like Dolly because she's, quote, woke.
Hey!
Just trying to help kids read good and giving money back to the children. No big deal.
Hey, I will never forget, like I said, 9 to 5 and watching that Thanksgiving performance at halftime with Dolly Parton performing up there. That was 3-4 years ago that happened.
Free consultation. I have a loudmouth coworker that is always very braggadocious about his physical conditioning. Every time I openly laugh in his face over it. But what else can I do to shame him into stopping?
You can put
That's
it
from
on
the
ball.
YouTubes.
What?
Easy ride, easy ride.
That's right. I didn't say anything.
What?
I didn't say a word.
I don't know. Like maybe just like schedule a golf match or something.
See that you did that, not me.
I didn't do any. I did not do anything.
As
I made
there's
a
drive in
lighthearted
deep left
joke.
field by Castellanos. It will be a home run.
Playing with fire, fellas.
I had made a lighthearted joke that was not taken in a lighthearted manner that then turned into a feat of physical nature, which I won because I showed up.
Anytime I have ever run into such person, I always look at them because, and this is true, these are facts. If Joe were to walk in today and be like, I squatted 500 pounds yesterday, I don't know what that means. Is that a lot?
Yeah.
I mean, 500 pounds is a lot, but squatting, like, I don't know. You can be like, I squatted 175 pounds this morning. I'm like, okay, is that a lot?
Dude, if Suk walked in
Like-
and said that, I'd be like, I mean, I wouldn't be exactly shocked, but I'd be like, damn, dude, you
But
right?
see,
Hell yeah.
that's because you know the context, the connotation of it. I don't know if 200 or 500 is a lot. Literally, because I don't lift weights because they're heavy. So like 175 versus 500, I don't know in the grand scheme of things of the average person that's lifting weights what that means.
Did you ever like have a point here? Because this was
No,
just,
I don't know where you're going, but the answer is no.
just weightlifting, like ever in
No.
high school or like
no, in
okay.
high school I was like 5'3", $125.
Never thought you were going to be a marathon runner?
No, I hate running.
A jockey, perhaps.
Absolutely not.
Well, 500 is a lot.
I assume, but like, is 200 a lot? Like, can you guys squat 200? Is that an
200, yes, that
Can
would-
I
yeah.
probably do 200?
Yes, you
okay.
should be able to do
See, but
200,
that's what I mean. And so anytime I've ever come across somebody like that, it's just, bro, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
yeah, and
It's like I did 16 reps, and it's like, okay, is 16 better than 8?
Well, and it's like
Is 16
Well, yes.
like weak compared to 32? Should the average person be doing 25 or 10? Like, I don't know.
it's similar to golf in that
And I
everybody
don't wanna
has-
know.
and that everybody has their own standard and what is good and bad to them. So like if I go and say, hey, I shot this score, I'm super happy. Someone might be like, dude, you suck. But then someone might be like, oh my God, you're way better than me.
And
you
in
know?
the world of James Harrison, anything under 200 pounds is what they call victim weight.
oh yeah,
And
that's
that's
right.
where I like to live.
Yeah. Or in the words of Jason Sukanik, who's literally said that as well. So,
Yep.
you know.
I believe I believe showing your ignorance and staying true to your ignorance is the way to go. One of my favorite examples is Mike Lynch, the great Mike Lynch, used to always drop Rick and Morty references during the hot corner. And I never understood them because I never watched the show.
Morty.
And it got to the point where Mike would just stop doing it because he was pissed off that I didn't know anything, so he just stopped.
You're an idiot, Morty.
Now, secretly, then I went through and watched every single Rick and Morty episode like 3 times and dropped one on the air, and it threw him off guard. And he got really mad that I'd watched all the episodes, so maybe do that.
Oh, just start one-upping him on a like.
No. Just stay silent for a while, but secretly go start lifting and then get better.
Do maybe
That's what most people do.
yeah.
Most people just don't tell.
It'd be better if you could like disappear for like 3 months.
Yeah, and then come back. Yeah.
Absolutely yoked.
Shredded.
I know how unrealistic that is, and if you have a loudmouth coworker that is doing that, I think you just nod and say, "Nice, nice, dude,
Cool.
nice."
I whenever Danny does it, I go, dude, I have no idea. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't.
I honestly
I do the same with politics. I'm like, no, I didn't see that story.
And this again, whatever. This goes for the guy who normally sits there, or anybody who I see working out. You are working out and you are doing something physical to make your health better. Why am I going to?
It's for you.
Yeah,
It's for you.
So if someone is proud enough in themselves to come and tell you about that, and they want to talk about their numbers and what they're doing, it's just like just give them time of day to be like, cool, dude, nice job. Like that, they're clearly proud of that. They're looking after their health. I don't think there's any, you can't rip on that. But if a dude is start saying like, I'm setting records at the gym,
What gym? The high school gym?
can I see some video? Like, I mean, can we?
I don't want to see video. That's worse.
Can I get
dude.
a test on the scorecard here?
Say, I need
Like,
some. This isn't Thor Bjornsson setting the world record at his home gym.
Yeah,
Listen.
That's what I'm saying. Is like as soon as you start making proclamations, like, dude, I'm reaching Olympiad status or something like that. It's just like, okay, like you got a certificate or something, bud?
I don't want to hear about your gym feats, let alone see a video about your gym feats.
What about
What if it
golf
looks
feats?
funny?
Maybe golf feats
No,
that happen.
I don't. In fact,
So that my
99% of the time, if somebody takes their phone and says, hey, look at this, my answer is I don't want to.
So my round at Shea Halem Glen, I was telling
Don't
you
care.
about on Sunday.
I'm proud of you, but I don't care.
Okay.
I'm happy for you,
I'll listen, Joe.
but I don't
I
care.
care.
I told my girlfriend about my round last night too, and when I finished, I was like, "All right," and that was it. Thank you for
Yep.
paying attention for
Yep.
the 10 minutes while I got to tell you about
Thank
that.
you for participating in my TED Talk.
And that was my TED Talk.
More free consultation next. 503-864-6326. Try to drop them in. We might be able to squeeze one or two more in. More consultation next. That's Lowercase with Sports.
Now, from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, some Blazers news if you missed it yesterday, as Shaedon Sharpe sustained a torn meniscus and is expected to miss 6 months. Sharpe suffered a torn meniscus in his right knee during a personal workout, and while the timeline for his recovery is yet to be determined, Sharpe could potentially miss a large majority of the 2026 season. Some college football news for you, as the Big Ten has decided to pass a rule that will not allow for players to return to the NCAA from the NFL. Players who have declared for the NFL draft and did not withdraw, appeared on an NFL roster, or signed a contract with a pro league cannot be on a Big Ten roster. Sources told Pete Thamel this comes in wake of the Xavier Harris and Daquan Wright parting with their prospective NFL teams to join Lane Kiffin at LSU. And finally, over to the WNBA as your Portland Fire face off against Paige Beckers and the Dallas Wings tonight at 5 p.m. Fire are 8.5-point underdogs coming into the contest, as you can catch all of tonight's Fire coverage over on 9:10 a.m. when pregame starts at 4:45. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Lowercase from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for the Oregon Ducks.
I don't know if I'm going to be putting on this headset again.
Hanging out here in free consultation every single Tuesday at 11:15. We'll do a double seggy. Web Gems is up next. Joe has something for me that I have not seen in Web Gems, so I'm very excited about that.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Doing a show pivot. I'll talk Lane Kiffin tomorrow.
Well, and you know what, Texter, that I am telling about my round at Shaylin Glen.
You're giving Joe such a chub.
I'm glad that you care. All right, I'm having a good little back and forth there. I'm seriously going to retire from golf. That's how good that round was on Sunday. It's my Moby Dick. It's my white whale, Shaylin Glen, and I finally played well.
You break 80?
No, but it was. Hey, what the hell is that? Do you realize how hard it is to break 80?
No, because I don't
have
care.
context.
We just talked about how I don't care.
Dude, at Shahalem Glen, of all places.
Cool, dude.
I'm
Steak
happy
burger putt-putt, I'm lucky to break 80.
Dude, I'm happy to get out of there with double digits, honestly. Anything less than 100 at Shahalem Glen, I'll call it an okay day.
Well, good for you. As your friend, I'm happy.
My God.
As a real human, I don't care.
Have you shot less than 80 there?
Never golfed in my life.
I've never broken 80 in my life.
I've never not shot less than an 80.
That's true. That's true.
Right now, I have poised to break 80 before the summer ends, but I can't seem to do it.
Can we just do this for the next hour, 20 minutes? Just talk golf?
No.
And our golf games?
No, thank you.
Is that like talking about like your fantasy football roster?
I'd rather talk fantasy football if I'm being honest.
running back.
You do talk fantasy baseball and fantasy soccer
I throw it in there a little bit.
daily.
I throw it in there a little bit.
Daily.
Just a little bit.
I love the
come
quote.
on.
I love the quote.
Just a little bit.
Daily.
I am in third place in my baseball league. I'm pretty
Come on.
Free consultation. Thanks to social media, I came across the LinkedIn for an ex from high school and later in my college years, a different ex. Obviously, it's many, many years later. Opinions on reconnecting with exes.
Don't start on LinkedIn.
More of a catching up versus rekindling old things, old feelings, thoughts? Well, I am somebody that can't be anti this for my wife, and I dated for 2.5 years in high school, post-high school. Didn't see each other for 15 years. Ran into each other. She asked me out. We got married. If you are
Did you reach out to her over LinkedIn?
No. No. Funny enough, we have the same phone numbers as we did when we were kids.
Wow. How about that?
Yeah, I know. Then I showed up to a date in my pickup truck, and she goes, "Are you kidding me? You still drive that piece?"
Same truck?
I was like, "You got it, baby. Let me buy you dinner."
Yeah, you remember this truck well,
Yeah,
don't you?
what's up? It's
You
not.
You remember the bed of this truck, don't you?
It's not the '91 Ford Taurus. That was the real moneymaker. That was the real moneymaker. Look, I think I obviously, if you are not single, that's a bad idea. That is a very, very bad idea if you're not single, right? Can we all agree on that?
Don't play with fire.
Yeah, don't play with fire there. Now, if you're single, I mean, what the hell do you got to lose? You know what I mean? If anything, you can have coffee, and if things go, and you're like, "Hey, this was kind of fun. You want to go out to dinner?" And what's the worst she's going to say? No. That's it.
And then your life doesn't change.
Exactly.
I'm not going to lie. I was trying to find the question. Here it is. I think I found it here. Something about meeting up with an old ex when you're married. Is that what was being asked
that is
here?
what it says. Yeah, it appears both are in relationships, possibly kids. I'm the same partner in kids. If that's the case, the answer is no. I think that's a really, really bad idea.
Yeah, that's...
Look, I am a happily married man with children. If I were to have coffee or be found that I was texting or DMing an ex, I do not think that would go well with my partner.
Easy ride.
Exactly. I don't think that would go well.
Okay, yeah, all right. It was jumbled up here on the text line. I came across the LinkedIn from an ex from high school and later in my college years, a different ex. Obviously, it's many years later. Opinions on reconnecting with exes, more of a catching up versus...
And if
you are single, dude, yeah, get after it. Do
Why
whatever
not?
you want.
Why not?
I've got a little bit of an issue. He just wants to go back to the past.
Oh.
He says, look at both exes on LinkedIn.
This guy's an animal.
Dude, go out there and just go on a date. Go on a blind date. Get set up with someone.
Did you
See
DM
the
them
world.
on LinkedIn? Because
not a good look.
Not a
Not a good look.
if you're trying to slide in on DMs on LinkedIn, you can't.
I mean, is the gram better?
Well, the gram, there's at least a preconceived notion of what you're trying to get after.
See, I think if you DM on the gram, it's like, "Hey, baby, you up?"
LinkedIn, you're trying to close the deal, but a little bit more professionally speaking.
Because you got a wife and kids?
Like, I don't think you're sliding in DMs on LinkedIn to quote unquote network if you're doing that to your ex. If I'm messaging my ex on LinkedIn, on any social media platform, I know exactly what I'm doing.
Again, it's the LinkedIn of it all that matters.
Maybe
to
we
me.
could collab on a project sometime.
You could find a phone number. You could reach out on other social media. The LinkedIn of it all. Yikes.
Yeah, I mean, if you're single, do whatever you want, man. But if you have a girl, I mean, come on, that's a stupid question. If you have a girlfriend or a wife, or
Without a doubt.
you know, but if they're, well, you know what you're doing too. If they're married or if they're with someone, I mean, if you want to be a homewrecker, you know, do you, boo boo. I mean, if you want that type of whimsy, to put it lightly, in your life, then go after it. Hit up your ex. I think it's all context based. You know. If you have a cordial relationship with that person, you can just go get drinks or go get coffee and hug it out and say, hey, see you in 5 years. Go for it. But usually if you're hitting up an ex, you know what you're trying to do.
Without a doubt.
Let's not gaslight yourself
Playing
here.
with fire.
And finally, free consultation. How confrontational are you guys or your wives in terms of people cutting in line to join their party? For example, our family was at Bullwinkle's last Thursday. There was 4 people who tried to cut in front of us to join one of their kids who was waiting in line ahead of us. Now, full context, they did say that they said something and they went to the back of the line. But where are you on people cutting in line to join their party?
In this case, Bullwinkle's, no, because the service that is being provided, I am now being pushed back because of it.
So you're telling me Bullwinkle's not a sponsor at the Fan right now?
They should be.
They do.
They should be.
I actually think their service is great.
But like, for example, I was at the Adidas store the other day and there was like 2 or 3 people that joined their group in line, but they didn't like add in 5 bags of clothes to like check out. They just joined the group that they were with. So it
Right.
didn't like delay me any further. Well, technically it was like, dude, you can't just jump out of line and go continue shopping and jump back in with your group. Like, that's kind of annoying. But again, it didn't like delay me any further. Yeah, in the go-kart line, if I don't get to go on the go-kart because those 4 people jump me, I'm pissed.
And I kind of look at it like,
And I'm ramming them every single time from behind when I'm on that cart, if on that track, if I run into them.
and I kind of look at it like if all of them were there, I'd still be behind them anyway. So I just don't care.
No. Also, I'm also a big fan of just mind your own business and don't just.
Or give them the eyes.
And like I mentioned earlier, I am victim weight, so got to be careful who you're confronting these days.
Just depends me on the day you catch me. If that would have happened to me this week,
Oh, definitely depends on the day.
Then you're probably seeing me on the news, based off of my mood this weekend. Local man snaps at Bullwinkle's. That's probably what would have happened. But more times often than not, I probably just was like, dude, whatever. I'm gonna get on the go-kart at some point.
At least you weren't in Forest Grove. That's good.
Hey, great text. LinkedIn gives you the out if you get busted. That isn't bad. Say that.
Oh, yeah, that is kind of true.
What the hell? You're texting her? I thought you broke up with her. Like, babe, it's on LinkedIn.
Babe, LinkedIn.
I'm trying to connect.
She said she worked with Fernando Mendoza.
She wanted to collab.
Easy ride.
She's a project manager, all right?
I'm looking for sponsors,
She
babe.
wants to manage my project.
That's free consultation every Tuesday at 11:15. Thank you for being a part of that. When we come back, it's everybody's favorite Web Gems, 105.1 The Fan and the Fan Sports Network. Gems do it every single day at 11:45. Coming up in the Big Nooner, we'll circle back on the Shaden Sharp situation and the Blazers. Is it time to move on? A little bit of baseball as one team's clearing house, and some golf news for the FedEx Cup Finals that are coming up, plus closing arguments to send you on your way. Web Gems is brought to you by something that I don't know. Joe, you have this, something that I have not seen. You told me not to, and I will check in on that in a second.
Yeah, and, we are in the world of radio, and this is where sometimes
It's pronounced radio.
Radio. And this is where I wish we almost had like a... We figured this out on the YouTube stream, if we could like pull up pictures and graphics like as we're talking about it,
As
like,
Colin Cowherd says, I know this is bad for the radio audience.
Yes, so we're doing that right now. I'm pulling a coward. There was a new mascot introduced to the Portland area recently. You hear about this? You seen this?
I know that the job was open.
It was,
but
open.
I do not know that it was filled, and I do not
filled.
know that they have chosen a mascot.
And the first little tease that I saw about this was a video from your Portland Fire. And
Home of the Portland Fire right here on 105.1 the Fan Sports Network.
You're GD right. Who I believe are fighting for their playoff lives right now.
You can catch them over on 9:10 a.m. when pregame starts at 4:45.
Boom,
today.
roasted.
And they are playing Dallas tonight, I believe.
That is correct.
Who is in the 8th seed, the final playoff spot. The Fire need to win, or I believe they're eliminated from playoff contention. So, stakes. Anyways, the first thing I saw of it the other night from Portland Fire's Twitter account, caution, it has come to our attention a hole with pink glitter was spotted outside Moda Center. And it's a video of almost like where like a meteor struck outside of Moda Center.
Okay, we have the crash landing.
Yeah, and there's like glitter all around it, and there's smoke emitting from the ground. Like, what the hell happened
nice
here?
PR job so far. I'm visualizing.
And then I believe on Sunday or Monday, I believe it was on Sunday, it was confirmed what that smoky glitter bomb from outside the stadium was.
Should I click this? I have Portland Fire mascot pulled up.
Yes, click it. Because they introduced the new mascot, Rose, the glitter-breathing dragon, the newest mascot of your Portland Fire. She is a hot pink, bright pink, the brightest of pink possible. She is wearing a white Portland Fire jersey dress, if you will, all pink with black scales. And she has a rose-esque crown. She's absolutely magnificent. She's got lashes. Her eyes pop. She's got a purse. She's just absolutely glamorous out there.
It's definitely a no for me, dog.
Absolutely not.
No.
I hate this. I hate this so much.
Is it worse than the troll up in Seattle?
There's like the troll under the Fremont Bridge?
No, the Kraken troll.
Oh, I don't know if I've seen the Kraken troll.
Oh, the Kraken.
Let me pull it up.
What's his name? I forget. He's got dude. He is T's nightmare fuel. That guy. Bowie. That's his name.
Oh, Bowie's not great. Bowie is also not great.
You haven't seen Bowie before?
I do not like.
That's not great.
I do not like Bowie either.
It's not great.
I like the name.
Yeah, it's a great.
I like the name Bowie,
but he is.
I don't care for the name Rose. I feel that's a little cop out.
Yeah, it's a little. It's
too
easy.
on the nose.
Yeah. Rosie, I could have gotten more behind, but even then, I would have tried to find something a little different.
But that troll is based off of the Troll Bridge in Seattle.
Bridget.
Bridget,
the fire-breathing dragon would have been excellent because of the bridges.
Dude,
something like that. So I like Bowie. I like Bowie the name, but yeah, Bowie is like a troglodyte meets a Justin Timberlake troll from the movie.
It's like the dragon from Shrek.
Yeah, that's a great point.
The one
that
Eddie Murphy loves.
I haven't seen it. Sorry,
Shrek.
No, I haven't seen it.
What?
Now
my kids were gonna play it for me the other night, and I fell asleep like 2 minutes in.
I am usually.
I know. It's egregious.
I'm usually not the guy that goes like, "You haven't seen this movie? Are you
That
kidding
is an
me?"
egregious.
I know. I know. I'm aware.
That's a rough
My
one.
kids are working to remedy it.
I like that boulder. That's a nice boulder.
I did see that before I fell to sleep. That is funny. Eddie Murphy is really funny in the 5 minutes I saw.
Yeah, so Rose, the glitter,
I'm out on this.
You're not a fan of Rose, the glitter breathing dragon? No?
I do the best I can and let the chips fall where they may.
I'm out.
They should have just thrown the Chewbacca guy that we got. Who's the Sasquatch? What's his name?
me all
Doug
wet.
Furr.
Doug Furr.
Wait, wasn't Blaze originally the Portland Fire mascot?
I don't know that. I like Blaze. I think Blaze is great.
If my memory serves me correctly, Blaze was actually the mascot for the Portland Fire originally, and then he would show up at Blazer games as well. And then when the team went defunct, he just sort of kept showing up to Blazer games and just became essentially the official mascot.
Now, Blaze is also along the lines of Rose as kind of like a little low-hanging fruit to be the Blazers mascot is named Blaze. However, this city loves to blaze the nugs, so it kind of works for the double meaning.
That's
to where Rose is the Rose City, but I don't know. It doesn't give me enough juice. Bridget would have been my jam.
It's too bad there isn't a NBA team that has like the word pen in their name, because then we could start going Blaze the Pen.
Blaze the Pen.
I feel like that's a little bit more modern.
I almost said pen and then a number, and I don't think that's appropriate.
Blaze the Benjamin, you know. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're gonna have to confirm. We're gonna have to go to the crack research team here.
Not the Kraken research team.
No, the crack research.
Thank you.
To see the origins of Blaze the Trail Cake.
I didn't know you like to get wet.
What?
When we come back, the big nooner is next. We'll get back into this Shaden Sharp situation, plus a little more fun with sports. That's Joe.
I'm starting to feel weird.
Are you starting to feel weird? Hey, 105.1 FM, 1080 AM.
From the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, some Blazers news if you missed it yesterday, as Shaedon Sharpe sustained a torn meniscus and is expected to miss 6 months. Sharpe suffered a torn meniscus in his right knee during a personal workout yesterday, and while the timeline for his recovery is yet to be determined, Sharpe could potentially miss a majority of the 2026 season. Some college football news for you, as the Big Ten is set to pass a rule that will not allow players to return to the NCAA from the NFL. Players who have declared for the NFL draft and did not withdraw, appeared on an NFL roster, or signed a contract with a pro league cannot be on a Big Ten roster. Sources told Pete Thamel that this comes in wake of the Xavier Harris and Daquan Wright parting with their respective NFL teams to join Lane Kiffin at LSU. And finally, over to the WNBA as your Portland Fire face off against Paige Beckers in the Dallas Wings tonight at 5 p.m. Fire are 8.5-point underdogs coming into the contest, as you can catch all of tonight's coverage over on 9:10 a.m. when pregame starts at 4:45. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Casey Smith from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at warrenallen.com.
Your home for Seahawks.
Two down, one to go here. It's the Big Nooner on the firm of Harris and Marang. We do this show every single Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Thank you for being a part of our day. We are stoked to be a part of your day. After this show, we turn it over to Duck Insider from 1 to 2 p.m. Then it's the Fan Happy Hour with Luke Anderson from 2 to 3. And then it's primetime, baby, from 3 to 7, finishing up. Hold up. Timbers Fan tonight. From 7 to 8, Jake Zivin and I sit down, look at the table, and see how the Timbers have progressed. Talk about players and the unfortunate news of Brandon Bye as well. That's 14 hours of continuous, live, local, regional sports talk radio. Starts with Dirt and Sprague in the morning and finishes up with primetime most days. Tonight you get Timbers Fan. Joe Fisher in the house.
Dude, how the Timbers didn't give up like 8 goals against LAFC on Saturday was beyond me.
It was a little puckering, huh?
Yeah, sure was.
Pantemis is standing on his head in the goal.
I think the greatest part about that was that Denny Bawanga, who is definitely a top 5 player in the MLS, didn't have
4 straight seasons with 20 goals now, I believe.
Didn't score his goal until like the 79th minute. If he would have scored in the 65th, I think that would have been done. But you held on and only gave up that 1 goal. It's like 15 minutes, guys. Hold on strong.
Park the bus.
And they did. And Timbers won 1-1. Timbers take on Austin FC this weekend, 7:30. You can hear right here on the Fan pregame coverage at 6:30.
You going to the game,
I'll
bro?
be at the game, bro.
I'll be at the game, too.
Oh, sick, bro. You want to have some soda pops before?
Maybe. Oh, you're going to be working, technically, right? What's not, are you really working as a Timbers beat reporter if you don't have at least 3 IPAs in your belly?
Well, I start loggers because, you got to start easy before you go
there
heavy.
you go. Makes sense, yeah.
I feel bad. All those guys up there are like writing. Like all my buddies up there, Jeremy
like,
and Alex and Tyson, all those guys are up there and they're like writing. They're like doing real work. And I'm just like, ooh, so beautiful afternoon here.
Dude, you suck. What are you doing? God, I'm ripping you on Monday.
I'm going to go get some more food. Are you guys hungry?
Yeah, it's pretty nice. I've come to the terms over the last couple of years that doing radio is really nice because I know I can be an opinionated douche sometimes in my real life. So this fits perfectly. I could not be a writer. That's the thing is I've talked about like journalists having to be extremely careful with their words to not show any perceived bias towards any one way. It is so hard.
I agree.
So hard.
I agree. I'm actually a decent writer, The problem is that I don't know how to not do it opinionated.
Exactly. Yeah,
That's my issue.
To add your own personal feelings, context,
or ask questions that I may not know the answer to, but are definitely going to offend somebody.
Yeah.
Like, is this GM know what he's doing? I don't know if the coach really gave the right motivation speech today, and they're going to be like, dude, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
You can't do that. Timbers fan tonight from 7 to 8 p.m. The big news of the day, though, Shaden Sharp is out for about 6 months with a torn meniscus. And I wrote on our show sheet, Joe, kind of circling back on this topic and situation is if it's time to move on. And while I don't think Shaden Sharp has a lot of trade value right now.
Wait, it's May, June, right? Oh.
I don't know if Shaden Sharp has a lot of trade value right now, but I think the idea of Shaden Sharp, and it really sucks that Scoot Henderson gets thrown in this conversation as well, because I don't think Scoot has done as much as Shaden has to deserve this. But I think it might be time to move on, A, from the front office standpoint, and B, from honest expectations of these being serious contributing players to the Portland Trailblazers. I looked up Shaden Sharp's WAR. Joe, you and I are baseball guys. WAR, I don't know if it translates the best to the NBA. That's a Danny Marang question I'd have to ask him. But Shaden Sharp's WAR is a 1.5 last year. You won 1.5 more games than you would have without Shaden Sharp. That's not a huge factor for me.
Yeah, I mean, and I was telling you, I was like, I think I was at the one. Like, I think it was Miami. He went off in the second half, started just draining some threes. Putrid first half for him. I think that I agree in the sentiment, like your initial reaction when you're saying, when you see the news, you're just like, dude, I'm done.
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
I'm good. Like, whatever we got to do. But easier said than done. Again, like coming into the show, I didn't know if last season was the first year of the contract, of the 4-year. But
This starts the fourth.
He is going in the fourth year.
22 each year.
The one plus you have with the contract is, it's 22 a year. Like, over the next 4 years, that's nothing.
Mm-hmm.
That is a drop in the bucket when it comes to NBA salaries. Now we'll see over the next few years, because I don't know, some people think that teams are spending like crazy, but I don't think we're going to get to a point where teams start scaling back on their spending. I mean, it's a contract that is very low value on the books, 22 per year, and so whether it's after this season, I don't know. If you ride it out one more year just to get through 2 years of the contract and then trade it, but that would be the one thing that is to me is that it's a cheap contract, and NBA teams, really all pro teams, they have egos. They love reclamation projects. They think they can get something out of a player that the previous team didn't. So that to me as a Blazers fan, that if you are truly like, dude, I'm done, is you hope that in the offseason, because you're not going to trade him at the trade deadline. No one's going to want him. Maybe. I don't know. But in the offseason, your hope is that there is going to be a team that sees the contract, 3 years, 22. We think we can turn him around. The meniscus isn't that bad. We're going to get a 24-year-old Shaden Sharp that is going to now hit the prime of his athletic career and ability, which is to find that team. Hello, Washington Wizards. I don't know who's going to be that to want to do that.
I don't know either, but I like the optimism, trying to find the silver lining of the situation. I think another thing is that you can go into this year, at least for that first 4 months of the season before you get to the All-Star break, fair or not, good or bad, all eyes will go to Scoot right now. And I don't know if that's a positive for Scoot Henderson or a negative for Scoot Henderson. And Donovan will take some of this, but I think a lot of us are pretty sold on the upside of Donovan. I think Donovan in 2 years has shown more upside than Scoot or Shaden has in their 3, 4, 5 years that have been around. So I'll eliminate Donovan Clingan from this conversation. I kind of like the idea that I can just say, okay, Shaden Sharp, get healthy, do your thing, get your rehab going. We'll see you when you come back. Now Blazer fans can shift their attention to see if Scoot Henderson is worth a new 4-year contract around the same amount of value to get that rookie high draft pick and see if they can hit. Do I think that's going to happen? I personally don't. However, I do like the idea, especially from our standpoint, watching this team night in, night out, and talking about this team every afternoon, thinking to myself, I don't need to critique Drew Holiday every night. I don't need to critique Denny Avdia every night. Will there be ups and downs with those guys? Sure, why not? But now I can watch, as far as a project goes, I can focus on just Scoot and not have to use my time in other places.
Yeah, I hear
Jaw
you.
is the veteran that you'll watch, so that's the veteran you want to see. The depth, obviously, the guard position is ish solved because now there's more minutes to go around.
Yeah, it's going to be a very small 1-2. And again, I know we're in a positionless NBA, but you're going to have
With tough defense.
You're going to likely have two dudes on the court at all times, for the most part, that are 6'4" at the most. Like, how tall is Drew? Is he 6'4", 6'5"?
6'3", I think.
I can't imagine he's that tall. I think 6'4" at the most, maybe.
Listed at 6'4".
6'4".
That's going to be your tallest guard that you had. What's Scoot at? Scoot's around that 6'3", Scoot 4, 6'4" as well.
I don't think he's that big.
I mean,
6'3".
6'3". So you are going to be running out Lillard, Jaw, Scoot, and Jaw, all guys under 6'4". That will be out there 80 to 90% of the time. You'll have two of those guys.
It's a tough matchup, and I know this team is probably going to be picked to win the NBA Finals, so it's definitely a stretch. But when you look at teams like the San Antonio Spurs, Steph Castle and Dylan Harper are both over 6'5". Steph Castle's 6'6". Like that's a tough ask. That's a tough ask on a Drew Hall on a John Morant. And so, while the good news is like we have a reason to talk actual basketball for the Blazers instead of mom, dad, city council garbage that we've been dealing with for the last 3 months.
True.
Also, the positive news is we talked about this in the first hour. And if you missed that, go check it out on the podcast. I don't think the loss of Shaedon Sharpe really affects win-loss record.
See, and that I'll push back in that it's just the depth factor. Like to say that a dude, I'm going to be a hypocrite to myself here because I've always said when it comes to NBA teams, someone's got to score 20 points, right? Like no matter how bad your team is, someone's going to get 20. Ryan Rupert had a 30-point triple-double last year for the Grizzlies at one point.
But Danny will say this. Danny's when he sits in your chair, 20-point guys are kind of easy to find in the NBA.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's like,
it's do you have the complete and are you creating for others and do you advance the team?
But just to essentially dismiss what Shaedon Sharpe can do as if it doesn't help contribute to wins and losses, I would much rather have Shaedon out there playing than a Vic Krejci or a CD Cisco. Plain and simple.
I think that's a fair take.
And so that's where I was just like, he can affect wins and losses. This year, maybe more so than previous. Obviously, we're not going to find that out until freaking March or April now. And, someone on the text line says one thing to know is that Denny's first 4 years, he didn't really pop until his last year and a half. And that was the end of 2 seasons ago where we started to see it. And then really last year was the first year that Denny exploded on the scene. That is the, boy, I almost dropped an S on air. That is the really crappy part about NBA is the patience for dudes to develop. It seems like it is,
especially high draft picks.
It is becoming smaller and smaller every year that we go by. And this is where you have to do the whole are you going to look at how many years they've been in the league or how old they are?
Now, I do agree that the size of Shaedon will be missed in that guard rotation. However, if Ja Morant wasn't traded on this team, okay, so let's say there's no Ja and Drew ends up getting packaged with Jeremy Grant and some picks for a power forward, let's just pretend Giannis.
Mm-hmm.
Then I could maybe think about Shaedon and Scoot being that much more of an impact. But Shaedon and Scoot, man, in that 5-man rotation of guards, they're number 4 and 5. They are.
Yeah.
And so to scream about a guy who's at 5, maybe 4, to me is a little wild. I want him to get better. I want him to be healthy. Look, going into the season last year, I was pro Shade. Danny and I battled for that all year until I hit my breaking point, and I was like, it's not even that I thought Danny was right or I was drinking his Kool-Aid. It was more that I just let the facts be the facts. And now looking at data, 1.5 wins above replacement. I'm good. And I think it's time to move on with the administration. I think it's time to move on with the idea that Shaedon Sharpe and or Scoot Henderson are the future of the team.
Well, and
it just stinks, but it might be the reality.
I will agree in the sentiment that if I'm going to have to see who really has it between Scoot or Shaedon this year, throw Scoot to the Wolves, give him as many minutes as possible. That is
Couldn't agree more.
That is a number 3 overall pick that you were banking on.
And you got to know now because you're about to offer.
And I know that Shaedon was, but exactly. That to me is a more, we need to find this out now versus Shaedon. Because again, This year one of the 4-year contract, so you might be able to ride this out a little bit longer, whether you would like to or not, Blazer fans. But to me, what I saw in the playoffs from Scoot last year, not necessarily how it ended in the playoffs for Scoot, but there were the glimpses, dude, of defense, effort, controlling the pace, fast, shoot. Like, he did a lot of things towards the end of the year where I'm just like, dude, don't do this to me. And so
Don't give me hope.
give me a full season of Scoot working with 3 of the most unique point guards that we have seen over the last 10, 15 years.
To put it lightly.
Damian Lillard, one of the best shooters of all time. Drew Holiday, one of the best players.
Defender,
point guard,
court
defender,
visions.
like, Olympia, like multi-champion. And John Morant, with a guy with a skill set that we've literally never seen in the NBA before.
Human highlight reel.
Like, dude, I get to hang out with those 3 guys and learn from all 3 of those guys over the summer and in the NBA season. If I'm Scoot Henderson, like, this is a gift. Like, yeah, you're not the starting NBA guard that you would hope to be at this point in your career, averaging 25 and playing 38 minutes, but you're not at that point in your career. So, yeah, you will benefit from being with these 3 guys. And, yeah, if you're him, this has to be your favorite season going forward because you get to play alongside those 3 and learn from those 3. That's awesome for him. And now he will be getting more minutes, more run because of the Shaedon injury, while unfortunate for Shaedon.
Yeah, exactly. More minutes to spread around. Also, what are the expectations of this Blazer team? Huh? The 7th seed again, but try to look better against whoever you're matched up again?
They were literally, that's what ESPN put him at.
Yeah,
yesterday,
so
was 7.
if it's the same thing as last year, I'm sorry, Dame. I know you don't have a lot left in your years, and I hate you to waste another year, but if the expectation's not that huge, see what you got with Scoot. And that's my positive, is now you get to focus on seeing if Scoot can be a true pillar of this franchise.
And I know we're up against it real quickly, though. I think that what is being lost in this whole, what the hell are they going to do with all these guards, is the unfortunate what if of Lillard coming back to action, not being who we hope he is. Drew Holiday is, 37?
He's got to stop at some point.
He looked great last year, I'll admit. But the number, it happens to everyone at some point. What if that happens? John Morant does have injury history. Dame literally just tear his Achilles, so whether you want to say he has injury history or not, that's a huge injury. And then Scoot Henderson, like I said, he has injury history too. So let's keep in mind, like, where the hell are all these minutes going? Well, guess what?
Denny's back last year?
Yes. It's like, well, all right, perfect example. We just lost a guy for 6 months. It's not bad to have all these guards now. What the hell happens in the middle of the season when Lillard calf starting to tighten up a bit?
Right. You got to sit for a minute.
2 weeks.
Happened to Jeremy last year. Happened to Drew last year.
It happens. And so when you're in December and maybe 2 or 3 dudes are sitting out and then Scoot and Jaw are running things and then Scoot and Drew are running things. Like, dude, give me the year to figure out what the hell is worth having in year 2 and year 3 and beyond this, because Lillard and Drew Holiday are not long-term solutions. They're old. Love them to death. They're old.
They're almost our age.
Yes.
Yeah.
They're older than me.
Yeah.
Like, they are going to be gone within the next year or 2. So having younger Scoot and Jaw here is going to help you figure out what the next 2 to 3 years later looks like.
Shaedon Sharp out for 6 months with a torn meniscus. We'll keep you updated on that. There is no update tomorrow, so don't ask for one. When we come back, a little bit of baseball news. Cleaning house. You're still kind of in it, though. 105.1 The Fan. Happy little Tuesday here. We'll get to some golf action here in a moment. FedEx Cup playoffs are rolling on. No hand, foot, or mouth going on here. Do you not know about Scotty Scheffler?
Does he have hand, foot, mouth?
He was dealing with it at the BMW, yeah.
Oh, gosh, I guess I missed that.
Yeah, well, he's got small kids, so that'll happen.
Does he have 2 now? What?
Yeah, I think he's got 2.
Did he have a second one?
Yeah, I think, and the second one's pretty young, and the first one
it would have
is still
to be,
really young.
Yeah, like an infant. I mean,
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing one last year. Well, I remember seeing one last year, so.
Yeah, I believe he's got a second one.
He's got 2 sons.
Scotty getting after it.
Shega, dude. That's what you sounded like right there.
Scotty.
Some
does know.
some baseball news to get to that I find really interesting. Dana Brown is out as the Houston Astros general manager. His contract was set to expire at the end of the season. He had been there since 2023. His job was basically to rebuild post-World Series. It hasn't gone very well for Houston, despite having this guy named Yordan Alvarez who just crushes baseballs.
Yes.
But what's interesting is they're letting him go because they're not going to renew his contract. Now, you're past the trade deadline. It's not a whole lot you can do other than maybe bringing up people and figuring out your postseason roster. But the other interesting aspect to this is Joe Espada, their manager, has been told that he will not be brought back next year as well. And it was given the option if you want to finish the season out or if you want to just go home, to where Joe Espada decided to finish the season out. It's probably because it's better look for a future job. Joe, I don't know if you know this, but the Houston Astros are a half game out of first place in the West. They're in a playoff chase. Now, they're under 500, but so is everyone in the American League West.
I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, half game under 500, half game out of the race. I feel like everybody in the AL should be firing their GMs at this point. That's how bad it's been this year in the American League. And this is, last year I remember before the season started with the hot corner. It's crazy, dude. I remember we were doing the hot corner 2 years ago before the season. What was the American League gonna be like? Or we were talking about like, hey, what are we looking forward to? And I remember 2 years ago saying, I don't know what the hell is going to happen in the American League this year. Like, who's going to be good? Who's going to be bad? Like, what? And basically, for the last year and a half now, the American League is a jumbled mess of, does anybody want to win this league outside of the Yankees?
Yeah.
The Rays, maybe. And the Astros, maybe they're looking at it as like, shame on you, GM bro and coach Joe Espada. Shame on you guys for not taking advantage of this situation that we've been in the last year and a half, because look around us.
You traded Cam Smith, or you traded Kyle Tucker for Cam Smith, who was the top prospect in the Cubs organization. Hasn't hit at all.
Got rid of Kyle Tucker.
You got rid of Kyle Tucker in that moment, and what you got for him is really nothing. Yordan Alvarez is surrounded by a Jeremy Pena who can't stay healthy and is inconsistent. Your pitching staff is up and down. Spencer Arrighetti, sometimes it's cool, sometimes it's not. Hunter Brown, is he healthy? Josh Hader's situation is looming over you. You're right, this team has not been built to succeed, and that's got to fall on somebody. It's just wild, again, to think that you're going to adios your manager and your GM, and you could be in the playoffs in 3 weeks.
Yeah, that's bizarre. But again, dude, that's the AL. Like,
it's wild to think that you just don't care.
I don't. I am an Orioles fan. Right now, we are like, 2 games out of the final wild card spot? I don't care. And I was on our show on the Hot Corner for years saying how much I wanted expanded playoffs. And I just think that vibes for a lot of teams in the American League are weird.
You're not wrong. Going into this season, I had high expectations for the Detroit Tigers.
Yep.
High expectations for your Baltimore Orioles.
Yep.
Do we need to start on the Seattle Mariners?
Nope.
And the expectations that team was delivered?
I mean, the entire AL Central, you had no idea what the hell was going to happen there.
No, and I leaned on my Cleveland Guardians because we had been doing it for the last few years.
Yes.
The team was largely the same. I see Parker Messick at the beginning of the year. You're like, ooh, that's a nice bump for the rotation. Let's do
Nobody
this.
would have anybody out of Southside Chicago.
No, stop. Even the Southside wouldn't have.
You're probably right. That would have had them at the top. So I think it's just vibes in the AL, unless you are literally the Chicago White Sox, the Rays, Yankees, and I'll throw the Red Sox in there because of their resurgence lately. Literally those teams. If you aren't those 4 teams, you're probably all wondering, like, what are we doing?
It's almost like the Eastern Conference in the NBA a few years ago when it's like it's so bad and you can't make the playoffs. Dude, you're done.
Yeah.
Is it kind of that vibe?
That's what I'm getting. Yeah. It's just I have not seen. This isn't even like good parody.
No, not in the American League. The National League is a lot more fun. But
I'm not having fun watching any of this.
But I'll ask you this, Joe, for funsies, since we are talking baseball, and you and I haven't had the chance to talk baseball in a while. If you were to put money on American League teams to win the World Series, who would you take?
Yankees, Rays, just because they've sustained it the most throughout the season.
Red Sox are starting to get a little interesting to me.
Yeah, but I'll take the sustained success throughout a season over. Ooh, you got hot at the right time.
Yeah,
it's just, to me, that shows inconsistency and that you're a wild card. Now, granted, trade deadline moves, you can reshape the roster in that second half to make you a more playoff ready roster. But to me, the Yankees and Rays have been the two teams atop the American League all year long.
I want you to name 3 starting pitchers in the Chicago White Sox rotation.
Oh, they got that one guy. Is Freddie Peralta?
Davis Martin.
Luis Castillo.
Where
did Freddie
Sean
Peralta
Burke.
end up this year?
He's in Tampa.
That's right. Thank you.
And all 4 of his starts in Tampa are his worst 4 starts of the season.
One of those against the Orioles.
I'm with you on that. The Texas Rangers, Nathan Eovaldi's out.
I was going to say,
I don't know what to say about DeGrom.
I was like, why was Peralta in my brain? Where have I seen him recently? Oh, yeah, my Orioles were shelling him.
At least my Cleveland Guardians have a 3-man rotation in Parker Messick, Gavin Williams, and Tanner Bybee.
Is AJ Pierzynski still there?
No, he's on TV, unfortunately.
Was Jake Peavy a White Sox at one point?
I think Peavy was. I think he's more known as a Padre.
Yeah, I know
But I believe
that.
he was a White Sox for a moment.
He ever done that?
I think Peavy.
Dude, we're playing the game.
Oh, we are. We are.
Dude, did he play for?
It took us 2.5 hours, though.
Let's see here. White Sox, 2009 to 2013. Yes.
Oh, dude, 4 years. Yes. 4 years.
You can put it on the ball.
Baseball coverage on The Fan is presented by Xfinity. Score the most reliable Wi-Fi. One prize, 5 years guaranteed. Xfinity, imagine that. When we come back, a little bit of golf chatter for some funsies here. That's Lowercase with sports.
Now, from the George McCoy and Warren Allen Sports Desk, a Sports Center update on the Fan Sports Network, 105.1 FM and 1080 AM.
First on the Fan, some Blazers news if you missed it yesterday, as Shaedon Sharpe sustained a torn meniscus and is expected to miss 6 months. Sharpe suffered a torn meniscus in his right knee during a personal workout yesterday, and while the timeline for his recovery is yet to be determined, Sharpe could potentially miss a majority of the 2026 season. Some college football news for you, as the Big Ten is set to pass a rule that will not allow for players to return to the NCAA from the NFL. Players who have declared for the NFL draft and did not withdraw or appeared on an NFL roster cannot be on a Big Ten roster, sources told Pete Thamel. This comes in wake of the Xavier Harris and Daquan Wright parting with their respective NFL teams to join Lane Kiffin down at LSU. Over to the WNBA as your Portland Fire face off against Paige Beckers and the Dallas Wings tonight at 5 p.m. Fire are 8.5-point underdogs coming into the contest, as you can catch all of tonight's Fire coverage over on 9:10 a.m. when pregame starts at 4:45. And finally, some NFL news for you out of training camp, according to Adam Schefter, as Giants wide receiver Calvin Austin was carted off the field today at Giants practice in what appears to be a serious knee injury. And for more sports scores and stories in 30 minutes, I'm Lowercase from the George McCoy at Warren Allen Sports Desk. Hurt, missing work? Insurance companies acting like jerks? Don't call your mom. Call George McCoy at WarrenAllen.com.
The home of prime time with
Closing arguments coming up next to send you on your way. But did you know if you listen this week, Monday through Friday, during the firm, you can hear a code word and text it in to win 2 tickets, courtesy of AEG Presents to Journey, September 19th on 2026 at Veterans Memorial Coliseum. Don't stop believing on this bad boy. You can text in right now, 503-864-6326 for your chance to win tickets. The code word is Journey, Journey. You can head to 1051thefan.com for more complete details. If you don't want to wait and take your chances, well, you can just go to rosequarter.com right now as tickets are on sale there. But if you text in Journey, Journey, to 503-864-6326, 2 tickets could be headed your way September 19th at Veterans Memorial Coliseum. Don't stop believing.
I saw Journey 2 years ago.
Were they good?
It was Def Leppard and Journey, and yeah, I had a great time. That Filipino bro they got as the lead singer, who
He
is
hits
now,
the notes.
I believe he has now been with Journey longer than Steve Perry was with Journey.
Take that, Steve Perry.
Now, granted, I don't think they perform any of the songs that the Filipino dude came up with because, at that point their career was pretty established, but it was a great show. Dude's got plenty of energy, and yeah, I don't know what it is about Filipino singers on YouTube, man. Every single one, just dynamite. Have you gone down that rabbit hole?
No, can't say I have.
Just
The vocal range is clutch.
My favorite are the 3 kids that just like to sing songs. They don't ever get any of the lyrics right, but
they
boy, do
wail.
They just sing their little hearts out.
Dude, it's crazy.
Some updates on the FedEx playoff bracket that's going on right now. I did watch a little bit of the first one, that Scotty Scheffler one. I didn't catch the Wyndham Clark one.
Yeah,
I didn't catch any of that.
Wyndham, he started the final round with a comfy little lead, shrank a little bit, went down. Rory tried to make a little push.
Shut up.
Who else was there at the end trying to damn it, I was watching. There was one other guy that was trying to
Patrick Cantlay.
Thank you.
Cantlay, I love him.
Patrick Cantlay was up there, one of the slowest golfers on tour.
Of all time.
But yeah, Wyndham Clark, former Oregon Duck and certified douche.
Yeah, I didn't realize that everybody hates him.
Yeah,
That's too bad.
I mean, yeah, he trashed that U.S. Open clubhouse.
That's
locker
right.
room,
That's right.
Yeah, he's just his name's Wyndham. I mean,
I assume he's got the dollars. Comes from dollars.
come on.
But you told me about this, Joe. This didn't come across my timeline.
Dude,
the FedEx Cup is going to change a little bit of format.
Golf pants are just bursting at the seams. I almost ran into here in the commercial break for Dirt and Sprague to talk to Dirt about it, because I feel like we are deprived of match play in golf versus, every tournament stroke play. Whoever has the best score via strokes at the end of 4 days wins. Bam.
Well, it's probably, real quick on this, it's probably the one thing that Liv should have jumped on, and it's probably the one thing that
nah, bro. 54 holes, bro.
that the PGA Tour is kind of missing. This is maybe the last thing that people really, really want out of golf. They want to see Rory versus Scotty to see who's the best. They want to see Rory versus Bryson to see who's the bigger douche. They want to see the animosity versus the competition, good guys versus bad guys, and all that come with that. It's the one thing they're missing.
So this is something.
But it's tough because the majors are so. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. The majors are so steeped in rich history. Links play when you're at the Open, and really, really hard birdies to make at the U.S. Open, and the Masters just being the most beautiful known course in the world. Finding opportunities to get match play in is a good thing for the PGA.
Well, and what the complaints of all the years have been like, how the hell do you do a match play? Because they did the Dell Technologies match play tournament up until just a couple years ago, and it was fun. It was a nice break from the stroke play that you could see dudes have a little bit of fire because you have these one-on-one matchups going on between guys. It is a fun format, and they stopped playing that a couple of years ago. But now the match play will return to the PGA Tour in a very, very, very important way. And I don't know if it's going to be called the FedEx Cup. I don't know if it's like their sponsorship runs out, but as of like now, they're just calling it
the Points Cup.
Whatever the hell. At the end of the year, they will have the standings, the top 90 golfers of the PGA Tour. They will play in the PGA Tour Championship Series finale. What that will do is they will have a winner of the 90 that wins the championship finale. There is a season-long winner who has the most points that they'll award at the end of the tournament as well. But of those 90 golfers that play in that series finale, the top 32 will advance to match play in week 1 of the championship tournament. That week 1 will be match play. There will be 4 or 8 groups of 4 golfers.
Ooh.
World Cup style.
Ooh, I like it.
The 2 golfers from each group, the 2 best golfers from each group after that first week will move on to the second week, and that will be the championship week, where the 16 golfers will all compete all weekend long, and the golfer that finishes that weekend 4-0, wins all 4 of the matches that they play in, will go down as the PGA Tour championship for that season. Sign me up. Match play is sick. To have it in a championship playoff format like that, to
Group play going into knockout,
to culminate in the championship of this is how it should be. The last few years they've been trying to tinker with it, where the point leader at the end of the season started the championship round with a 10-stroke lead, and then the second place was 9-stroke and 8. So like they tried to give them that advantage to leading the season. But now this is like, oh, you're still going to make the final tournament, but we're doing match play from here on out. Whoever has the best next couple of weeks golfing and wins one-on-one, mano-a-mano, Cargo Short Classic is going to be your PGA Tour champion for the year. Sign me up. This is going to make this absolutely electric.
Yeah, I think it's a brilliant move on the PGA simply because once the 4 majors are done, we kind of laugh about waste management. Like the golf season ends a little lackluster. Sure, like I was rooting for Justin Rose last year in the FedEx Cup. I thought he had a really nice season last year, and he kind of fell short with some of the younger guys, but still played really, really well. But that gets lost in translation. You know, even Scotty, who won the first one, and Wyndham Clark won the second one, they get lost in translation over the years.
It's like, cool, you win.
Yeah, right. Oh, okay, cool. Scotty won the points because he won 2 majors, but didn't play that well in the FedEx Cup. Like, you can do that, and guys do that all the time. The idea of making something a little more basically playoff
format
at the end of your season is fantastic, and it gives you something we don't get to see. Because let's be real, when you match guys up at the end on day 4 of the tournament on Sunday, and you've got your groups, okay, and your final group is Wyndham Clark and Rory McIlroy. That is exciting, but it's still not Rory versus Wyndham. They just are playing together versus the field. But if you put it in a world where they are playing against each other, hey, I've seen golfers look at other golfers they're playing with on Sunday at the Masters and say, hey, remember, it slices that way. They'll help each other. Match play, maybe everyone for yourself at that point.
Yeah, I also just love the fact that there's no escaping. Like if you are gaffing it and you are down 5 holes, I mean, and it's just you ask the bed and match is over by 13th, 14th hole. You got to answer that. Like, and then when you're talking about everybody with the field, the final pairing on Sunday is going to be these 2 guys. Well, one of those guys could end up shooting 3 over.
We saw it at the Open Championship.
Yeah, and then he's like not even in the conversation.
The Open.
So it's going to be called the next year.
It's
actually.
just the.
Yeah. So yeah, I think this has been being talked about for the last couple of years. It's just a matter of how do you make it an engaging TV product, because the one thing I was telling you about is like, so say it's the championship match, let's just say like Rory versus Scotty. Are they literally just going to have the whole course open just for a 1-versus-1 golf match and let all these spectators in? Granted,
if it's Rory versus Scotty, maybe
they would show it. Okay, but let's flip it. Let's say it's Sam Burns versus
Wyndham Clark.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, people aren't going to show up as much of that, but I think how they're doing this is that final week, that championship week with the 16 golfers that weekend, everybody's going to play 4 matches that weekend. It's not like if you lose on Thursday, you go home. Like, you still got to play your match on Friday, Saturday to determine the 1 through 16 who wins it. This text comes in, and oh my God.
I mean, it's spot on. If it can do that, not just for this specifically, but if it can do this, it'd be a huge fun thing.
I would cry. This text came in. This possibly opens it up for courses like Bandon Dunes because it's a smaller field.
And that would be rad.
Don't play with me.
Look,
like
I
that.
don't know if it's Bandon specifically, but if you could find a way that it opens it up for some courses that are maybe popular on the LPGA tour but can't sustain the crowds in the field of a PGA tour, that'd be cool to see some new courses mixed in.
That's a big thing.
That would be awesome.
They've always said just the logistics of getting all those golfers, families, fans, everything to Bandon Dunes has made it a non-starter. So. I don't know if you ended up with a Rory Scotty final at Bandon Dunes, I think you'd have some trouble with logistics and lodging and everything like that during that time as well.
Nobody would be here in the office, I'll tell you that. Prime time is the best of, that's for sure.
No, prime time live.
Yeah,
from Bandon
live
Dunes
from Bandon Dunes. That's
happening.
a good call. Closing Arguments is next to send you on your way. The Fan Sports Network.
The new home of the Portland Timbers is the
All right, that's going to do it for us. Closing Arguments are brought to you by Oregon Divorce Mediation Services, presented by our friends at Leskin Law. For more information, visit leskinlaw.com. Coming up on the program tomorrow, a little NFL chatter about playoff teams. You know, half the teams in the NFL missed the playoffs the next year that made them. So we'll go through and see if we can't find the 7 that we like to miss the playoffs. Or is it 8? You'll have to find out tomorrow. Also, some big cool show news of something I want to do on Wednesdays involving college football. We'll get to that tomorrow, tease that as well. Danny will be back on Thursday. We will give him the opportunity to catch up on this Blazers situation if he's got anything to say. Tyson Alger joins us on Thursday to talk Oregon Ducks. Chris Fetters will join us on Thursday to talk the UW Huskies. Alex Brink will join us on Friday to talk Wazoo football. And then hopefully we get somebody for Oregon State to chat a little bit about the Beavers. Let's see today. In the MLB schedule, give you some nice pitching matchups today. Peyton Toley's on the bump for Boston there in Miami. If you haven't seen the big boy pitch, he is pretty good. Seth Lugo versus Max Scherzer. That's an AARP matchup. Max Scherzer still trying to crawl up the list of top strikeouts of all time. Tyler Glasnow back on the mound, making his return from the IL. Dodgers are in Atlanta. Big series he'll go up against Bryce Elder. Jacob deGrom is on the bump. Texas is in Chicago on the south side. See what he can do. Gavin Williams, don't look now. The Cleveland Guardians have won 5 in a row. They are in Anaheim taking on the Angels. Let's see. Chicago at Arizona's Clay Holmes, Brandon Pfaadt. That should be a nice matchup. Philly and Seattle, again, round 2. Aaron Nola, George Kirby. The names sound great. The pitching has not been great, so maybe watch that, see if Cal Raleigh can hit some more dingers. And your nightcap game, Pittsburgh at San Diego. Paul Skeens on the mound versus Michael King. A West Coast late-night edition of Paul Skeens, which I feel like I never get to see.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
This texter texts in, just saw a Sam Darnold Alaska Air commercial. He sounded a bit stiff and forced. He's definitely not an actor. Amigo, I saw that commercial yesterday as well.
He's an LA guy. What
good
the hell?
God. He's standing there with this Alaska jersey on. He's like, supposed to puff my chest, right? Just be cool. Look menacing.
Hot.
It's also the guy that we made fun of for the first 3 years of his career.
Alaska Airlines is your home. Fly to Paris, Madrid, and other places. It's kind of rough.
Dude.
Cool looking commercial, though. And Alaska's dope, dude. I love flying Alaska, so the fact that they're going to more places is kind of fun.
Well, and the fact that Sam Darnold even gets an endorsement at this point in his career, I'm sure he's happy to take anything.
I am amazed by it.
It reminds me of the, was it Family Guy bit? I know you don't watch it, Patrick, but Peter becomes a New England Patriot.
Okay.
And he gets a
New England revolutionary, whistle.
No, he gets on the football team.
Oh, okay.
And he has to do an endorsement for Wilkins Hyundai and Subaru.
Okay.
And he's just as stiff as possible. And it is basically the epitome of every single athlete endorsement ever. Hi, I'm here for Wilkins Hyundai and Subaru.
Is Ricky Bobby in the first interview?
Yeah.
What do I do with my hands?
Exactly. You can come down and get a great deal on a Subaru today.
That's one of that classic Dan Marino commercial where he's just a jerk through the whole thing.
Oh, yeah.
Did not flub at all.
We done.
Some other news to keep your eyeballs on. It sounds like the Big Ten will ban NFL players from return. We'll wait to see if that comes through. Officially, the U.S. Open is underway in tennis. If you like tennis, that's great. That's a bucket list event for me to go. Patrick Mahomes feels great. On track to start week 1.
I feel great.
I
just can't wait to be out there just playing football again.
A little bit of concerning news out of Cincinnati camp. Jamar Chase. We are on Jamar Chase watch. May have a little ding in the knee. We'll see if it's bad, if it's big. RIP to your fantasy team if it's big. But I think RIP to the Bengals anyway if it's not big.
I have Joe Burrow as my quarterback for my fantasy team. So if he could, have Jamar Chase playing.
I don't play fantasy football. I love Joe Burrow. He's my favorite quarterback in the NFL, not named Gardner Minshew. I love Joe. When he is on, he is so stinking good. And Cincinnati's defense should be a little bit better this year, or at least the same.
Can't be worse.
Got an update on the Chase situation 8 minutes ago. He spoke to reporters on the sideline at Bengals practice. Just a little hyperextension.
Wonderful. Oh, yeah. Seeing video. No longer receiving any treatment after going down knee.
Wonderful.
Perfect.
That's good to know because I love Jamar Chase, and I really want Cincinnati to play well this year.
But some injury notes out of training camp as Darnell Wright, he is the right tackle for the Chicago Bears. He was replaced by Theo Benedict after trainers took the brace off his right elbow, and he stayed on the sideline for a while.
We're getting close, guys. Just hold it together.
Dude, I was telling you guys, as a returning fantasy football year after a few years hiatus, this is my second year back, The 2 weeks from draft to the start of the season, I feel like the Matt Damon gif in Saving Private Ryan, just crying, avoiding gunshot and shells and enemy fire the whole time. Injury left and right. It is just pure chaos. Just hold up, please.
Please hold up.
I finally have a good running back room.
Closing arguments are brought to you by Oregon Divorce Mediation Services, presented by our friends at Leskin Law. For more information, visit leskinlaw.com. Oregon Divorce Mediation Services, the alternative to divorce. Cord, that'll do it for us, Joe. It's always great. Always a pleasure.
Did appreciate it. Had a great time.
We'll see you guys tomorrow. For Joe Fisher, that's Casey Smith. I'm Patrick Harris. Go do something I would do.